All right, people. How you doing? It is I, your host, with the most, Michael Garza 4-3 trifecta. What's going on, everybody? I hope you guys are having a good day, good night, good whatever. Welcome to the show. We are reacting to all sorts of things. This is woke news. We're doing a little bit of a woke news segment. We're going to look at the DNC Autopsy report. Ooh.
Yeah, at long last.
So we're going to react to a few of those videos. We'll see if Trump has any reaction. I have no idea what is in this report, by the way. So I guess they delayed releasing this, which is... I don't know. I've never even heard of these autopsy reports for these particular political things. This is the first time I've ever heard of anything like this. Let's take a listen.
Last, after hiding the document like it was an Ark of the Covenant, the DNC finally releasing their long-awaited autopsy.
I think the thing is...
what went wrong for Kamala Harris in 2024?
Okay. Kamala. So we're reacting to a little bit of woke stuff, the DNC autopsy report. We'll see. We'll see. Trump will probably, my boy Trump will probably have some reaction to it, most likely. This is cray-cray, man. This is wild, man. You guys ready for this? It's woke. It's the woke report, dude. And he says, DNC autopsy report, cool. So this is basically an explanation as to why Kamala lost. I think we know why Kamala lost, because she's an unlikable candidate and she was forced down everybody's throats. And nobody wanted her. Essentially, nobody wanted her. And, of course, why would we? Why would anybody want Kamala? I don't know. But to those of you who think that Kamala was the answer, I mean, Kamala make you holla. That's all I can say. Other than that, Kamala was probably one of the most unlikable candidates you could ever have running against Trump. Like, I just felt like there was no reason to have her running. Give me just a few moments, everybody. All right, let's see what happened. The autopsy report, man, this is crazy. Give me a second, you guys. Okay. We're live. We're doing it. Let's get to it. I like Poland. What? I like Poland. Why? So what is going on, my brony baloney bros, dude? It's your host, bro. It's the most famous host you'll ever have. Michael Garza. You're a pink brony bro, and you dance at the gay clubs. Oh my God, I'm just having fun on stage in my hooves.
It's nearly 200 pages long, chock full of embarrassing errors, spelling mistakes, and even a blank page labeled conclusion. And the guy who commissioned it, DNC Chairman Ken Martin, disavowing the report itself, saying it.
If you can, double tap the screen to like the stream. One more time. Double tap your screen to like the stream. Double tap your screen. Double tap it with your tip. Don't tap it with your tip. You got to get a grip. Don't tap it with your tip. Don't tap it with your tip. Don't tap it with your tip. You got to get a grip. Don't tap it with your tip.
Does not meet our standards, and he's just not proud. So what does it say? Will it?
I bet it was written by AI or some woke intern. I'm assuming a woke intern, possibly Kamala Harris, may have wrote it.
Pins the blame on Team Biden for failing to elevate his VP before she took over the reins of the party, and blasting Kamala for failing to address Trump's they-them attacks. It also says the Democrats lost.
What? First off, the reason that we voted for Trump was because of the glorious things that he was doing. Trump's the man, dude. Look, I don't think this blue wave is happening because nobody trusts the Democrats, and why should they? The Democrats haven't earned anybody's trust. Not necessarily have the Republicans either. But if I'm going to vote for the lesser of two evils, I'm voting Republican because the Democrats don't care about borders. They don't care about citizens. They don't care about Americans, in my opinion.
Lost connection to working class Americans, focusing too much on anti-Trump.
Oh, yes, that's another thing. Working class Americans hate the Democrat Party. Straight up. You know it, man. You know it.
Trump messaging.
But like I said, double tap your screen to like the stream. One more time. Double tap your screen to like the stream. The more likes we get, the better. We're trying to get to 100 likes in the next 20 minutes. 100 likes in 20 minutes. Don't know if we could do it, but I think we can. You know what? I believe we can. So if you guys can, help the channel. 100 likes in 20 minutes. Double tap your screen to like the stream. Let's go.
But these Democrats don't want to hear anything about it.
We didn't need an autopsy to tell us the Democratic Party doesn't know what the they are doing right now.
I don't really care. I mean, I'm not sure those are the right people to diagnose what's wrong with the...
I don't even think the Democrats... Here's the problem, though. Democrats don't even realize what they did wrong. The Democrats keep doubling down on stupid policies, stupid politicians, stupid everything. The Democrats, like Donald Trump said, the Democrats are the Democrats. Donald Trump has single-handedly exposed the Democrat Party for being stupid. I'm going to repeat that. Donald Trump basically exposed the Democratic Party for being stupid as shit.
election.
An autopsy is a medical procedure you do over a corpse. And now it sounds like we need a malpractice attorney because we couldn't even do the autopsy correctly.
Yeah. The report is also getting called out for what it doesn't talk about.
There's nothing about Joe Biden and what happened in the debate. There's nothing about Kamala Harris getting the nomination without any kind of primary process. And also there is nothing...
Yeah, they didn't I mean, I haven't read the report, so I have no idea. But that doesn't shock me. That they... I like how I'm responding to this as if I know what's in the report. But it doesn't shock me, though, that they would omit the fact that they injected Kamala as the primary candidate and didn't hold another primary. That was ridiculous. So basically, she was a politician that nobody wanted, essentially. Nobody wanted her. And the Democrats failed to admit that. I mean, there are plenty of reasons why the Democrats lost. But that was one of the main reasons. One, Kamala Harris is severely incompetent. 2, she's the most unlikable candidate in the history of politics. I'm actually kind of blown away, if I'm going to be honest. I'm kind of blown away.
About the way that voters were responding to Gaza and how the Joe Biden and Kamala Harris policies and comments about it were hitting.
Yeah, because they're terrible. Their policies are terrible. Democrats don't know what they're doing.
Their minds.
It felt like it was a document designed to make sure nobody in the current leadership of the party would get fingered for the blame.
No. Well, to make matters worse for the left, according to the latest poll, only 20% of voters approve of the job the Democrat Party is doing.
Give me one moment. And that doesn't surprise me. 20% approve of the Democrat Party. I told you guys, the Democrats are severely unpopular. You know, the Democrats keep trying to say, oh, Trump's made the Republican Party worse and unpopular. No. Most people who are Republicans are like, yeah, we would still rather vote for Trump than any of the artard candidates that you're proposing. No, I love what Trump is doing. I love what Trump is doing. I hate what the Democrats are doing. The Democrats are a terrible party. Look at that. 20% approve, 72 disapprove, because people realize the Democrat Party is the party of censorship and the party of everything else. So Reason is saying, no, Garza, it's because the leadership in corporate Dems. Well, I think that the Democrat Party sucks. Whether it's the corporate Democrats, whether it's the communist, socialist
Small
Democrats.
wiener gang.
Democrats have shot themselves in the foot so many times. Also, the fact that the insane left has taken over the Democrat Party is also not a good look. The fact that they pander to the insane left is not a good look. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. Everybody give a shout out to Juan Nunez.
Small wiener gang.
Small wiener gang. Hell yeah, dude. Thank you, Juan. Appreciate you, bro. Hell yeah.
That puts them at 52 points in the hole heading into the midterms. Jessica doesn't believe that, Greg.
Oh, hey, we're currently sitting pretty at 10,594 subs. Once again, we're at 10,594 subscribers. Make sure you guys tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. It does help the channel grow in more ways than one. Mucho apreciado. Thank you so much. Let's keep rolling.
Greg, I think it's true, though. I think this autopsy, what makes it so amazing is it wasn't that it had something in it no one knew and they didn't want anyone to know about. It's that the autopsy essentially confirms the entire line of attack Republicans used against Kamala and Biden.
Because Kamala was extremely incompetent, still is incompetent, and if she tries to run again, dude, she's gonna lose. Like, could you imagine Kamala Harris going up against J.D. Vance? Like, really think about that. Do the Democrats really think that Kamala Harris, of all people, going up against J.D. Vance would be a good idea? No, it's a bad idea. J.D. Vance is a very polished debater. I think J.D. Vance would be the perfect man to lead America in 2028. JD Vance 2028, dude. Double tap the screen if you want a little bit of JD Vance 2028. If you guys think Kamala Harris is terrible, double tap the screen. If you guys are tired of the Democrats' incompetency, which they are incompetent, by the way, double tap your screen. Nobody likes the Democrats. Period. I mean, people do, unfortunately, but those people, they could do their thing in their corner. Democrats are a terrible party. They've been one of the worst parties out there, in my opinion. And I think Democrat Party needs a change, bro. They need to stop talking about socialism and communism as if they're new and great ideas. See, the problem is with communism, it's not a new and fantastic idea. It's an old shitty idea. I know you guys have never heard this because you've been listening to your public school teachers your whole life. Eric is asking Social Security. Social Security is a Ponzi scheme, dude. It's the young funding the old. That's my opinion on it. My opinion is that Social Security is a Ponzi scheme. It's basically young people funding old people. Here's the problem that I have with old people that have to be on Social Security. They never invested. That's my problem. And granted, there are always going to be irresponsible people who never take the time to invest. And to them, okay, fine. Social Security should exist. But I am not a fan of the way that the Social Security program is set up. I don't think it keeps up with real inflation at all. I think it's a total scam. I think the best thing that you could do is invest early. If you're a young person and you have little to no debt, just invest. It's better to invest than get into debt. We have been trained by our stupid parents in our stupid school system to get into debt at a young age. We have been trained by our stupid parents in our stupid school system and our stupid government to normalize debt, even stupid marketing ads, to normalize getting into debt. So Reason 1024 says this isn't the 50s anymore. People aren't afraid of socialism anymore. Well, yeah, that's because nobody reads history. You should be afraid of socialism. You want to know why? Because it's a really shitty idea. And if you implement socialism on a massive scale, you only create destitute and poverty. There is no innovation. Okay, I'm going to give you an example. China. Do you want to know why China doesn't ever innovate anything new? Take a guess. I'll tell you, it's communism. Communistic principles on the government level stifle innovation. It prevents people from being billionaires. It prevents people from thinking outside of the box. Here's the problem with communism. The group identity matters more than the individual. And when the group identity matters more than the individual, you stifle innovation, you kill innovation. If America was a socialist country, I'm serious, we would not exist as we are today. If America had socialistic, communistic principles from its founding, our country would be shitty. Like, it would be crappy like all the other countries that practice communism. It would have been Hitler's Germany. It would have been Maoist China. It would have been Stalin's Russia. Collectivism is crap. Reason says, how has capitalism solved the growing poverty issue? You can't fix poverty. Poverty will exist in every system. The only thing you could do is minimize poverty. I'll give you an example. In socialism and communism, everybody's poor. Poverty is everywhere in a communist socialist society. In a capitalist society, you could pull people out of poverty through a through a capitalist society. But there will still be people in poverty. I think it was Jesus that said, the poor will always walk amongst us. I repeat, the poor will always walk amongst us. So even in a system like capitalism, which is not perfect, by the way, it's still effective. And yes, you're always going to have poor people in any system. You're always going to have somebody poor. The question is, which system creates the most poverty and which system creates the most wealth? I would argue that capitalism creates the most wealth and the most prosperity, whereas communism and socialism create the most poverty and destitute. I think in the end of the day, you know I'm right. You have to know I'm right. Reason says, no, in socialism, the wealth gets distributed evenly. So, Reason, can you give me a good reason why it's a smart idea to redistribute wealth? What does that do? It basically encourages lazy people to be even more lazy. Also, there is zero incentives in a social... By the way, you can't innovate anything in a socialist society because, one, socialism doesn't allow you to become a billionaire, so what the hell's the incentive to want to create anything? By the way, human beings need incentives. Human beings are inherently selfish and selfless. We are a mixture of both. Socialism doesn't work with the incentives that are needed to create things, to create better technologies. So tell me, Eric, communism is the opposite of socialism? Well, socialism and communism are both rooted in collectivism, which collectivism on a government scale and a massive scale implemented is a shitty idea. It's so bad. And Reason, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Do you really think redistribution of wealth will magically solve all of society's ills? It will not. You want to know what will? New technologies, new medicines, new innovations. Redistributing wealth doesn't solve any problems. Actually, I would argue that everything you just mentioned, Eric, is not making things better. I would argue all the things that you mentioned do not make anything better. All the things that you mentioned do not make anything better. I love you, Eric, but I'm going to disagree with you hard on these ideas. But yeah, redistribution of wealth doesn't actually solve any problems. Just because you give a lazy person more money doesn't mean that they're going to be more productive. And by the way, did you know that the only reason we can have these programs is because there has been so much created wealth? Think about it. Think about it. All these companies that exist in America. Really think about it. Give me one moment. You know what to do with that big fat butt. PJW says not all people are lazy. Actually, most people are lazy, just to let you know. And honestly, under a socialist country, the problem is with socialism and communism is you have what's called a social contract. And one of the reasons why America is such a fabulous country is we actually don't have a social contract. It's your choice to care about your fellow man. The beauty about America is you have the freedom to not give a shit about your fellow man if you don't want to. Like, I don't have to give a shit about any of you guys, but I do because I choose to, not because the government tells me to. You know what I mean? So there's no social contract here in America. That's the best part about living in America, no social contract. Sensei, can I just tell you something, bud? So you're saying I'm dumb, but you haven't offered anything on the table. So can you tell me why I'm dumb? Is it because I think redistribution of wealth is a really poor idea and it's not as great as you make it out to be? And that Karl Marx was not a genius but an idiot? Karl Marx was a dummy. He may have been somewhat intelligent, but he didn't understand political systems. He didn't. Marxism was crappy and you know it. Marxism is shitty. You know it. You fucking know it, dude. Marxism is overrated. It pretends to be intellectual, but in all reality, Marxism is not good at all.
Entire election.
Yeah, that's part of it, but why people keep asking, why did it take so long to release the autopsy? Well, they were waiting for Kamala's toxicology report to come back. But autopsies are like an intervention. Your friends and family show up to tell you all the bad
Tiny Lion Gaming, completely agree, dude.
stuff that you've done. But
I'm holding
here,
all the wealth.
They did skirt a lot of the issues. Why was that? The ones that mattered were the cultural issues. They weren't brought up here, and they weren't mentioned, especially trans, because they haven't changed their positions on them. So if you're not going to fix the problem, you sure as hell aren't going to own up to it. You're going to talk about Trump instead. But the problem is, if the underlying positions are still there, we're still going to focus on it because it's a huge issue. I went back, Dana, to find out the first time I mentioned a trans-related story, 2011, 2012, about bathrooms. Now, I targeted this for a very important reason, because I saw the intimidation tactics that would occur when it happened. And I figured that if I persuaded people on the importance of fighting this battle, it would matter. It wasn't a marginal issue. You could say, I remember the argument, it's only a few trans people. That wasn't the point. It was an attempt to re-engineer biology and silence anyone who dare questioned it.
Tiny Lion Gaming says Marx led to the slaughter of millions of Christians and the destruction of many monasteries and sacred icons that can never be recovered. But yeah, Marxism basically sucks, is what I'm trying to say. Any form of collectivism is overrated. The problem with collectivism also, like I said, there's a social contract involved. And that's a problem. When there has to be an implemented, forced social contract, people resent being forced to do anything. That's human nature. I know for a fact I get resentful when somebody thinks that they have control over me. I don't like that.
Why was the trans issue so important to challenge? Because people still ask me this, usually when I'm out in the street signing autographs. I'll tell you why. It diagnosed and it exploited the fatal flaw of cultural relativism. That's the unlocked door where any idea that is detached from truth could enter. It just so happened that it was trans, but it...
Yeah, dude.
Didn't have to be. Trans women are women. That got in. But it could have been anything else. 60-year-olds are now 40. A morbidly obese person is now fit. Horses are people. Cantaloupes could have rights. It's all the same. Any position where truth is surrendered to the prevailing wishes of the mob would become the order of the day and would compel you to obey. That's why it mattered. It was like the first strike against a 13 billion-year-old planet. And it was a flex. It was a flex of the unravelers, the people who said...
Reason is saying we have social contracts now that you abide by. No, we don't. Reason, that's the whole point. We actually don't have any social contracts. I choose my morality. Do we have laws? Yes, but laws are different than social contracts. A social contract is like something like, hey, you have to care about your fellow man. It's a must. I don't. I could say I don't give two shits about my fellow man. I do, but I could say that I don't if I really wanted to. And there's no negative repercussions to that, legally speaking.
If we could do this, there's no such thing as truth anywhere.
Dana, why do you think they let it out now? Is fear it was going to get leaked?
Memorial Day weekend.
People won't pay attention. They had to do it eventually.
Yeah, so Memorial Day weekend, and obviously.
So wait, let me see what my boy Raxter saying. The same people loving socialism in chat is the same people that will sit on their ass expecting everybody else in collectivism. They do it now. Exactly. And that's the problem. They just expect everybody else to solve their problems because they're fucking lazy. Only lazy people love socialism. Only lazy twats love socialism. The laziest people I've ever fucking met love socialism and communism.
The president sucks up a lot of oxygen when it comes to all the headlines. So like, how can we get this out? Maybe they thought it was going to leak. And also a guy who used to work for Kamala Harris had gone out this week with a big piece. I don't remember where it ran, but Rob Flaherty, is that his name, Jessica? And he was like, here's what I think went wrong. So everybody was trying to get out ahead of this fact that they knew that it was going to come out. So there's that. On the they, them ad, so Adam Schiedler from TAG, that's the group that put the ad together. And if I think the DNC would have been very wise, they should hire
Laugh out
Adam
loud.
and his team to.
Oh, thank you, Texas Jane. I appreciate the gold coin for 10 jewels. Mucho apreciado. Everybody give a shout out to Texas Jane for sending a gold coin. Uncle Chris is in the house. What up, Uncle Chris? My home dog. What's up, dude?
Say, okay, here's the ad we would make about you today going into the midterms. They don't have to release it. But pay them, create the ad, and to know exactly what they're up against. It's be like there's something you do, it's called something in corporate jargon where you would do that. But to me,
opposition
research maybe, or like where you workshop it or something. So that way, at least they would know
those in the
what's
Marine Corps would
coming.
say you war game it. That's
war
what
game
you're
it.
war
Okay,
game.
war
That's
game.
what they say.
But the other thing is, as Greg has said, like. Or you could watch the 5.
Got Uncle Chris, you got Annie in the house,
Everything
Tiny Lion
I was
Gaming.
reading this, all the like
Got everybody,
bullet points
man.
from this. I'm like, these are all the things that we're saying, not because we're geniuses, but because they were obvious.
Yeah. Or you could talk to a guy. If you want to know what guys, why you lost the mail vote, go talk to a guy. You don't need $10 million in a, in some sort of study here, autopsy. But there were some things.
Yeah, just talk to people. Maybe go on the internet. I don't know. Figure out something. See what popular sentiment is. You could figure out why, it's not hard to figure out why Kamala Harris was an unlikable candidate. Chris Rule is chilling out in New York. Hell yeah, dude. You're a busy man, Chris. You're a busy man,
Things
dude.
in here that they should be listening to. The stuff that happened about how they lost young men. They talked about the rural vote and how they lost the rural working class vote. You talk about it. And it's interesting that they lost that vote after Hillary didn't go to Wisconsin, and everyone thought that was a big point of why she lost that election. So the report.
I think Hillary lost the election because she's just unlikable too. Nobody trusts the Clintons. People would rather trust Donald Trump than Kamala Harris. People would rather trust Trump than even Biden. Hey, we're only 5 subscribers away from hitting 10,600, so make sure that you tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner, as it does help the channel grow. Once again, tap that subscribe button to help the channel grow. Let's keep going, man. But yeah, no, this autopsy report is gonna. Yeah, it's sad because they never. I swear, the left has not learned from its mistakes. The left has not fully acknowledged that they couldn't pick a strong candidate, and they also have 0 strong candidates in general. Most Democratic men are weak. Most Democratic anybody really weak candidates. It's because their ideology is weak. And when you have a weak ideology, you tend to be a weak person. It's pretty simple. Not hard to figure out. Make sure that you guys double tap the screen to like the stream. One more time. Double tap that screen. See what I'm doing? Double tap to like the stream. All right? Double tap the screen, bro. Double tap it, bro. Double tap. Double tap. Double tap. Double tap your screen. Double tap your screen. Tap your screen. As you're coal mining in the state, yeah. Just remember, you guys. Double tap your screen to like the stream. Double tap your screen. Double tap it hard. Double tap it hard. Double tap your screen to like the stream. Double tap it hard. Double tap it hard. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Now one.
Was let out sloppily. There was a conclusion page that was blank. It was a little bit of a hot mess, but some of the stuff in there is still relevant. And I'm not seeing anyone, especially on the trans issue that Greg brought up, other than Gavin Newsom. I don't see anybody else. I mean, you saw Wes.
Gavin Newsom, man, he's such a chud. Gavin Newsom is the worst.
Governor Wes from Maryland, Westmore. He's still saying all the trans stuff from 2024. So why don't they want to listen to this? I think it's good. Some of this is good stuff.
Yeah, but the time to look at it was a year ago when it was available for release. They made it into a scandal when it wasn't. We've had a number of autopsies that have come out since the election, and they all say basically the same thing. Jared Moskowitz is.
So why didn't they release it? Why did they wait?
Because it's a piece of crap. I mean, the fact that we spent our money on this, the DNC dollars that could have gone to, knocking on doors or whatever else on an.
Well, it just shows that the DNC doesn't know what the voter wants. I think the DNC is the Democrat National Committee is extremely disconnected. One of the reasons I don't vote Democrat is because of how out of touch these people are. They're out of touch. I don't like it. I don't even by default vote Republican. If there's a third party candidate out there that really tickles my fancy, sure. But if you have Democrat next to your name, I'm not voting for you. No way. No way.
Unfinished piece of shoddy work. There were no citations, and it would be like, X, Y, or Z happened, or this interview, and then like no cites. You don't know who said it. Mm-hmm. You don't know how he came up with his numbers. And so Ken Martin had to go in and redline the whole thing and say on the side in the brackets, or what's it called? Like the
margins?
In the margins, he says no evidence for this. No evidence for this. So he didn't release it because he's embarrassed.
Sounds like climate science. Sounds like all the climate science you guys said was real.
It doesn't sound like that at all. Actually.
Yes, it does.
Like it is friend. It is long. Well, it's not. It's his longtime friend. This guy Paul Rivera, who, by the way, was still on the DNC dole until today, basically, when now he's not going to be working on this anymore. So Ken Martin knew it was really bad, and he felt shame about it.
Well, and this is the problem: is there's not that many. I love how people think there's a lot of Democrat voters. I don't think there are. I think there's more independent voters at this point. I think there's a lot. There used to be. Here's the thing. I think a lot of former Democrats decided to abandon the party. Look at Bill Maher. Bill Maher was about as left as you could get, sometimes. But he realized that the party was too woke and too cray-cray, and he was like, I'm out. Later, guys. Bye-bye. Come home to mommy, right? And, yeah, he was done with it, man. Bill Maher was like, I'm done with the woke. And more power to him, man. More power to him. Please keep your hands down and stop raising your voice. It's hardly what I'd be doing if you gave me a choice. It's a simple suggestion. Can you give me some time? So just say yes or no. Why can't you shoulder the blame?
You're totally right about, Biden was not included in this, essentially. The talk of him being too old, being shielded from the public, that is a central factor.
I like Joe Biden, he's number one. I love him, he's lots of fun. Oh, yeah, I am so cute. Yeah, no, honestly, I don't trust the Democrats, man. I think the Democrat Party is out of their bloody minds, man.
In why we ended up losing the 2024 election.
Do you think putting this out earlier would have given Democrats inspiration to have a talking point or a message or a platform beyond not Trump?
We had this already. I learned nothing in here except that they hired an inept person to do something that was deeply important after.
I don't trust any analysis when they say that they don't like the report because it's shoddy, because they've never said that about their reports. They just don't like this report.
That's not true. All of the reports that have come out say that we majorly messed up in 2024, that we messed up in some ways even in 2020. It was a COVID election, and that made it was a different game. Obviously, I think, if we hadn't had a global health pandemic, President Trump might have won re-election, frankly, if people had not been stuck in their houses, et cetera, and the economy hadn't crashed. And
Trump should have won. Well, and when I say Trump should have won, it's because I think people really did like Trump. I really did. I think most people did.
Votes.
Yes, we stole it. I want to say something, though, about the trans issue.
Is this the leering center of autopsy reports? Like, it's a scam. Like, this guy got paid a lot of money to do nothing.
No, he didn't do nothing. He just did a bad job at
I love how every time I watch Jessica Tarlov, she just gets outraged by everything. She's just always outraged. She's always angry. Like, this person, this is why I don't. These leftists, they're just always angry about something stupid.
He was doing on the they them ad. It was mentioned in here, and it said that it did have a big impact.
It's funny though, because it says they failed to address the they them attacks. You address it by having common sense and rebuking it. You don't address it like, oh, by the way.
No, but they literally
it was an
just
issue that the
left it
entire
alone.
country looked at and said, you're crazy.
It just sat there like a big turd in the middle of the election or in the middle of her 107 days. And the reason that the they them ad resonated so much, it was actually an economic argument more than it was an argument about trans issues, because it said the Democrats are going to spend.
Holy shit. Oh, this is gonna give me nightmares, dude. This is the left in a nutshell right there. That's what you're seeing above you. All this, that is the left in a nutshell. If you want to properly describe what the left really is all about, this is what the left is into, folks. All of this. See that? That is, if you vote for the left, this is what you're going to get. All of this. Including Jessica Tarlov is included. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I'm freaked the fuck out too, dude.
Money on undocumented people. They're not going to spend it on Americans. It wasn't necessarily to goad people into feeling like, oh, I hate trans people. And Greg, you said, we could tell them anything. We could say that a 40-year-old is a 60-year-old, or maybe a 60 to 40-year-old. That's not it. People believe that people believe that transgender people exist. What they don't believe is that they should be competing in competitive sports against biological women. That's what happened with all these bathroom bills. That you even see conservatives that say, I don't really care where you pee. Just don't make it my problem. I love the idea of a new ad, though, and we'll do it with Trump. Trump is for he, him. Democrats are for you. And we could do that.
People care where you pee. I'm telling you right now.
I
they care where you pee.
Yeah.
Well,
because, I like to pee outside. I get in trouble for it all the time. We're going to flush this one.
That was I like to pee outside. I get in trouble for that. Was hilarious, dude. That was a pretty good one. That's really good. Holy crap, man. Holy crap.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch.
Rackster says bootlicker. Okay, Comrade Lenin, Mr. Stalin, bootlicker, and Mao sandal licker. Yeah, no, it's funny. I love how the left calls people like me and Rackster and everybody that's right wing. I love how the left will call us like bootlickers and Nazis and stuff. But the irony is, I mean, these people love what's called a genocidal ideology. Socialism and communism are genocidal ideologies at the end of the day. You do, Reason, have you ever read history? Do you have the ability to look 15 minutes in front of yourself? Do you have the ability to look 15 minutes in front of yourself? Or rather than that, do you have the ability to look beyond? Do you have the ability to look 15 minutes and beyond behind yourself? Come on, man. Read some damn history. Socialism has failed time and time again. Socialism and communism always turn into authoritarianism because what happens is the people become so poor and hungry they can't think straight. And what happens is manipulative leaders take over and hurt people. So Reason is asking what part of socialism and communism calls for genocide. The irony is it doesn't call for genocide. That just typically ends up being the result. Socialism and communism result in those things. Think about it. Everybody becomes poor under socialism and communism. And in order to protect the group, in order to protect the group identity, people must die. That's the problem with collectivism. The group identity becomes far more important than the individual's life. Honestly, Reason, you want to know the irony? In socialism and communism, you are literally just another cog in the machine. You are legitimately a cog in the machine in socialism and communism. Just want to give you a heads up on that. And what happens is, because communists and socialists tend to be very authoritarian, they end up executing their own citizens, doing terrible things to their own people. It just becomes awful. Or other people. I don't trust communists or socialists these days because I do think that communism and socialism are a form of mental illness. People who believe in those concepts, I feel like they're a little bit mentally ill. Not just a little bit, but quite a bit. I still respect them as individuals. I just think that they believe in a very warped ideology that has been responsible for the deaths of millions upon millions of people. You do realize, Reason, that not everybody does better in a socialist society. Reason, have you ever studied socialism and communism in depth? Have you ever studied how poor and sad everybody is in those societies? Have you ever spoken to an actual person from like Cuba or any sort of socialist country or communist country where it all crumbled because of that shitty ideology? You haven't. You're a spoiled liberal kid who's probably at home in his parents' house, probably going to college, who's never had to face adversity in their life one iota. And I notice the people who have never had to face adversity in their lives tend to lean towards socialism and communism majority of the time.
The DNC releasing a long-delayed 2024 autopsy report suggesting the White House and top Democrats failed Kamala Harris. Quote, the national campaign did not effectively drive Trump's negatives, and the White House did not effectively support Vice President Harris over 3.5 years to improve her standing before the candidate switch. Now, we didn't really need an autopsy for that. According to Harris's book, when asking for support, Gavin Newsom responded with, hiking. We'll call back. Former President Obama advised, think through the timing. And J.B. Pritzker, governor of Illinois, flat out said, I can't commit.
Nope. You can't commit to Harris, dude. Harris
also zeroes in.
Kamala Harris was one of the worst candidates you could have ever picked. Straight up. She was the worst candidate you could have ever picked. And it just blows my mind. That the Democrats were like, oh, she's the one. Really? Really?
on her time as border czar, and how the Biden White House threw her into the flames without an extinguisher. Quote, President Biden assigned the vice president a brief, including immigration, which was poorly framed by Republicans as border czar. It was not the official title, but it was the one that the media propagated, and the White House failed to contradict or correct. But title or not, Harris didn't do anything about the border and only visited the thing twice while she was VP. The report did acknowledge, though, she may have saved Democrats from an even bigger down-ballot wipeout had Biden remained on the ballot. But
dude, could you imagine if Biden ran against Trump? Could you imagine that? That would have been the wipeout of the century. I mean, that legitimately would have been wipeout of the century. Crazy.
when it came time for Harris to actually sell her accomplishments to voters, her failed strategy boiled down to one message: Trump is bad.
Yep.
Quote, anti-Trump sentiment alone was insufficient to motivate voters. The Harris campaign appears to have relied on Trump being unacceptable rather than building an affirmative case for Harris. It's important to note that all of these conclusions come with the mandatory citation of no evidence to support the claim. Joining me now is former press secretary to Jill Biden and Democrat strategist Michael LaRosa and radio host here in Dallas, Mark Davis. Thank you both for being with us here today. Michael, do you agree with this autopsy that everybody seems to hate on the left?
Well, there's parts of it that are, yeah, sure, it's true, but it's obvious. It's nothing new.
I felt like what they left out were a couple of key things. They left out the fact that they injected Kamala. They didn't actually get her elected in the primary process. They didn't let the people choose if they wanted Kamala Harris. Instead, they said, hey, here's Kamala Harris. You have no other choice. That actually pissed a lot of Democrats off, actually. Some people just accepted it. They laid down and accepted it because they're compliant losers. But anyway, the pug plug says Kamala still lost. Yeah, exactly. Kamala Harris was one of the worst candidates that you could have ever had. I mean, Joe Biden technically would have been the worst, but, you know. I mean, Joe Biden was terrible, dude.
It's not the kind of meticulous autopsy I think Democrats were looking for. You know, the chair had one administrative ask of him and promise, frankly, that he made to Democrats. And that was going to be a big part of restoring trust in our leadership in the Democratic Party amongst Democratic voters. And he failed at that.
Okay, let's do it this way. Mark, I'm going to ask you quickly. Could you write a Democrat autopsy for me for 2024?
I could, and to the document's credit, it contains some of the things that they said. Move toward the center, do better in rural areas, note what your weaknesses might be in terms of finding real solutions. Those parts were good. Yeah. But there is a certain come to Jesus moment that you've got to have that says, look, the dogs didn't like the food. The customers didn't like the restaurant. This was a summary rejection of the Biden agenda and an obvious recognition that Kamala Harris was a simply horrible candidate. And the last thing I'd put in is, and this is loving advice for everybody who's my Democrat brother and sister, have primaries. Let actual voters make the pick because
yeah, and that was a big problem. People felt like they had no other choice but to just accept Kamala. You know what I mean? They weren't given an option. Nobody gave them an option because obviously Joe Biden was going to drop out and he's like, nope, I'm not running for re-election. Okay, well, how about this? Well, since Kamala is going to be the candidate, or at least you guys are forcing her down our throats, can we at least vote on this, please? Can we, the people, vote who are a part of the Democrat Party, vote to see if we want Kamala Harris or if we can get somebody else, please? Instead, they were like, nope, Kamala Harris, you guys just deal with it. Just vote Kamala, vote blue, no matter who, whoop-de-doo. One of the stupidest sayings that's come out of the Democrats' mouths is vote blue no matter who. vote blue no matter who is the most low IQ thing to ever say. It's basically saying, hey, no matter what we do, vote blue no matter who. It's like, well, you guys are basically still the party of the Triple K, so we're not voting for you. I don't vote Democrat because I still think that they're the party of the Triple K. And they also believe in socialism and communism, which are really shitty ideas.
This was for a party that lectures us about democracy, this is an unbelievable abrogation of democracy to simply hand it to her undeservingly.
Okay, Michael, I think those are all fair.
Yeah.
Let's add to
Yes,
it.
they
Can we
are.
add to it?
They are.
Walk away from
Yes.
insane transgender policies. Don't embrace democratic socialism. Take Mark up on his opportunity or his offer to move to the center. And yeah, it's small, but also big. Just pick a better candidate, which I will give you, Michael, is not easy. You don't have a lot of options when you reach into the barrel, but right now it looks like you're going to pick the same one for 2028, Kamala Harris.
No, I don't think we will. And I think that, look, consultants are only
If they pick
good,
Kamala
and I hope
Harris in 2028
Kamala
to be their
Harris
primary,
learns this from
they've
President
learned nothing.
Biden. Consultants are only good if they tell you the truth. That's their only value. And the truth is, she got 8% less Democrats turning out for her than Joe Biden did 4 years earlier than her. 6 million Democrats didn't show up for her. 2 million came from her own home state. There's no appetite for another Kamala Harris candidacy. That's not going to happen.
People don't want Kamala. And if the Democrats actually choose Kamala as the primary candidate for the Democratic Party in 2028, the Democrat Party's cooked.
But Mark is right. There were structural problems that they didn't assess in there, which was not having an open primary, which was the decision that went into Biden's choice to run again. Then you have the tactical issues, right? You had Kamala Harris and her own words on trans, right? There was nothing you could do about that. Then you had cultural issues within the Democratic Party. And what I mean by that is a culture of candidates like Biden, like Harris, consumed by fear, consumed by paranoia, consumed with caution and risk aversion. They think,
and that goes into it. Why do you think, and this is so funny, the Democrats are the Democratic Party is like a pirate ship, right? It's a paranoid pirate ship. You want to know why? Because there's always going to be someone who stab you in the back to get power, right? The Democrats just want power. They just want power. They don't even care if they're competent. They just want power. So notice a pattern here. Notice a pattern. Think about it this way. Barack Obama chose who to be his vice president? Joe Biden. And I'll show you the pattern here in just a second. Who did Joe Biden choose to be his vice president? Oh, Kamala Harris. Good to know. Who did Kamala Harris choose to be her vice presidential running mate? Oh, Tim Walz. What do all of these scenarios have in common? Care to take a guess? Each person, each president or presidential candidate chose somebody even more incompetent than them to be their vice president. I'm going to repeat that. Each president and presidential candidate on the Democrat side chose somebody even far more incompetent and unlikable than themselves. Think about it. Really think about it, man. And this is the problem with Democrats, is a lot of them have imposter syndrome because they know they shouldn't be in the position that they're in. And they know that the policies that they hold dear and true to them are really garbage ideas. But the problem is they're afraid of change, so they don't change their crappy ideas. Yes, I believe J.D. Vance is far more competent than Donald Trump. I do. In fact, when 2028 rolls around, if I will vote for J.D. Vance, or Marco Rubio, depending on who wins the primary for the Republicans. But I will vote for either of them to be the president of the United States in 2028. There's no way in hell that I vote Democrat. I just don't. The reason I don't vote Democrat is because the party lost me forever. Because, one, I saw the way that they celebrated after the death of Charlie Kirk. I saw the way a lot of these leftists on TikTok celebrated, and I thought, these people are sick. These people are disgusting monsters. Like, there was, like, already a 2% chance that I would ever
Laugh
vote
out
Democrat.
loud.
2%. But you want to know what? It's down to 0 now. It's down to 0% chance. And there's a lot of people who have my mindset that they were so disgusted with the way that these liberals on TikTok reacted to the death of Charlie Kirk. They were like, you know what? Whoever you're voting for, which is obviously Democrat, we're not voting for whoever you're voting for. We're voting Republican or third party. I vote, at this point in my life, I vote either third party or I vote Republican. I refuse. If you have Democrat next to your name, I know you're a piece of garbage, and I'm not voting for you. Yager's Farm says 6024, and you know this personally. Oh, do we have what's his nuts in here? Hey, Yagers, I want to thank you for the gift, my brony bro. Everybody give Yager's Farm a shout out. Thank you for sending a star, my man. You're a real star, bro. I do appreciate that star gift, man. I really do.
Laugh out loud.
Hey, Yagers, thank you for sending the flowers for 30 joules. Mucho appreciado. And thank you for the high five, my brony bro. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Everybody give a shout out to my boy
Laugh out loud.
Yager's Farm. Hey, thank you for the gold coin for 10 joules, Mr. Yagers, Mr. Jim from Yager's Farm. Crow Inked Shop is
Laugh out
asking,
loud.
is your refrigerator single? It's a single refrigerator, man. Just don't you know what inside of it, okay? Just do not finish inside of it, okay? I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, man.
Laugh out loud.
Oh, thank you, Yagers, for the chili. Everybody give a shout out to Yagers for the chili, and thank you, Rackster, for the gold coin for 10 joules. Thank you, Yagers, for the chili once again.
Laugh out loud.
Hey, the reason I'm getting these gifts is so that way you can afford a spine. Just kidding. Now, here's the thing, man. I do have a spine because I have the courage of my convictions. Reason, you do realize that your belief systems are garbage, allegedly. Yeah, I'm not afraid to be a fan of Trump. I have no shame. Why would I be ashamed of being a Trump fanboy? I'm a Trump fanboy, dude. I can't help myself, man. I'm Trump sexual. Look, if you guys love Trump as much as I do, double tap your screen to like the stream, man. I love Trump. I think he's the man. All right? I'm not going to feel bad about that. Why would I feel bad about that?
Laugh out loud.
Hey, thank you so much, Yagers, for the flow state. I appreciate it, brother. Everybody give a shout out to our brony bro, Mr. Jim, killing it. Thank you for the gifts, man. They really do help the channel out a lot, and thank you for the sunshine for 200.
Laugh out loud.
Mucho apreciado, man. Thank you. Everybody give a shout out to Jim from Yager's Farm. If you guys want to send us some gifts, gifts do help the channel grow in more ways than one. So whatever you guys want to do, man, it really keeps us flowing, it keeps us going, and keeps us heavy. But yeah, I'm giving those a love. Everybody give your love to Yagers, because Yagers is a total stud. Everybody loves Yager's Farm, baby. But yeah, make sure you guys double tap your screen. If you guys love Trump as much as I do, double tap your screen to like the stream. If you guys want Vance
Laugh out
2028, double tap your screen. Yager sent girl power. Yeah, dude. Yagers, I love you, bro. Thank you, man. I do appreciate these gifts. Mucho apreciado, man. I got to give you my love. Got to give you my love and my affection. I can't get enough. I gave it a love, dude. I gave the girl power a love, dude. No, but thank you so much, Yagers. Mucho apreciado, brony. You are my brony bro, dude. And I can be your brony, baby. And I could kiss away the pain. And I will stand by you forever. You can take my breath away. But thank you, man. Everybody, once again, give a shout out to Yager's Farm 4-3.
Podcasts are some magic sauce. It's not podcasts. It's accessibility that allows you to be authentic.
That's perfect, because guess who was more accessible than anybody? Donald J. Trump was accessible to pretty much everyone and anyone. Kamala Harris hid in the shadows while Donald Trump was going everywhere. He's going on television shows, podcasts. He was going to locations and speaking. He was everywhere, man. Donald Trump made it his mission to make sure people knew his name, people knew his policies, people knew what he wanted to do. All right. Reason is being a crybaby in the chat. So everybody, let's give Reason a hug. He's crying, he's whining. We love you, boy, but we can't deal with your temper tantrums. But no, thank you again, Yagers, for those gifts, man. I mucho apreciado. Yeah, let's give Reason a hug. Reason, we know that you're feeling pretty sad right now. I don't know why. Maybe it's because Trump's the man, and I know you're just jealous. We all know that Reason is really just jealous of Trump. We get it. It's okay, buddy. Give you a hug, bud. There we go. We just gave Reason a hug. It's okay, Reason. We love you, my brony bro. We care about you, brony. Yeah, Crow Ink Shop. Reason is very salty right now. Let's give Reason a little bit of time. Reason rhymes with treason? Treason Reason. The Treason Reason. That's what we should call him. But thank you, guys. You guys are being incredible right now. Thank you, Yagers. Thank you, Mr. Jim from Yagers Farm, for those gifts. If anybody wants to send any gifts, just like what Yagers did, feel free to, tap the gift button and send a gift. It really does help the channel grow in more ways than one. Let's keep going.
Democrats are obsessed with authenticity, but what they don't understand is that Donald Trump will go everywhere. She didn't do an interview for 5 weeks.
She didn't do an interview for 5 weeks? That's insane. Raxter gifted a gold coin for 10 jewels. Mucho apreciado, brother. Everybody, let's give a shout out to our boy Raxter 4-3. It's amazing, dude. That's amazing, dude. Holy crap. But yeah, thank you, Rackster. I really do appreciate it, my brony bro. You are so cute. Rackster is so cute. Give you my love and my affection. I can't get enough. Standing on the edge of forever, at the start of whatever, shouting love at the world. Back then, we were like cavemen. Make sure you guys double tap the screen to like the stream. One more time, double tap your screen to like the stream. It really does go a long way. Thank you, Rackster. I really do appreciate the gold coins, though. Mucho apreciado, brony. Appreciate all you guys. You guys are so cute. You are so cute.
Right.
Into getting the nomination.
Yeah. Right. I think that's all. Okay, that's all fair. I think both of your analysis is very fair. I would just continue to hammer the idea that you have to understand the failure of the policies and the ideas as well, not just the personality and the tactics. So, Mark, I'm going to take your diagnosis, Mark, right? Give me the candidate that could actually check the boxes of a real autopsy. If not, Kamala Harris. Who is the Democrat? Well,
it's not going to be a Wes Moore or Andy Bashir, who are the darlings and the supposed centrists, because they're just not. Andy Bashir is an abortion cheerleader, and Wes Moore just spent some time talking about how he would usher his son through trans surgery. If the Democrat Party will pay attention to this document and my loving additions to it, you'll get a Harold Ford Jr., you'll get a Stephen A. Smith, you get a Bill Maher-style classical liberal, and I just don't think that's going to happen. These are people who are center-left, who are more liberal than I am, JFK-style Democrats. I don't know if the party will approve of those anymore. Fetterman is reviled in his state of Pennsylvania for daring to differ one plank from the platform of...
Dude, I have so much respect for Fetterman for basically saying F you to the Democrats. Dude, of all the people to say F you to the Democrats, I want to thank John fucking Fetterman for being a stud. For being a total... freaking stud for saying, hey, Democrats, F you, bro. F you. I love it, man. I love it. Bottoms up, brother. Amazing. Amazing.
Squad-friendly lunacy. So I think as much fun as this day is, I think this autopsy document is a one-day story, because there is no evidence that the modern party in 2026 is going to pay a lick of attention to it. They're going to remain as extreme, as squad-friendly, as extreme as they appear to want to be every single day.
Real quick, Michael, one name.
We had this
one name.
Rahm Emanuel.
Okay.
Not a bad name.
Rahm.
Not a bad name.
We'll see if he can win a primary.
We're going to be doing to John Fetterman, unfortunately, what you guys just did to Thomas Massie. There's no room for dissent
Yeah, except
in these
we had a reason. We had a reason. Massie was disloyal to the cause.
Oh,
Massie was not on board. Bad example.
You liken Fetterman. You liken Fetterman to Massie. Fetterman votes 93% with Democrats. 93% with Democrats.
I'm not a Massie fan.
No, I'm a Fetterman fan. But what I'm saying is my party's going to do to Fetterman what your party just did to Tom Massie.
I mean, that is true. Here's the thing. John Fetterman, I think John Fetterman doesn't want to do the job anymore. I think it's one of the reasons why he's like, you know what? I'm done with the Democrats. I don't care anymore. Thank you, John Fetterman, for being the man. Thank you. John Fetterman's a stud, dude. Everybody give a round of applause to John Fetterman. Fat dog, dude.
And that'll be a real shame for you.
Yeah, it'll be a loss for them.
93% votes with the party, and that 7% is going to be what gets him, not literally, figuratively killed as a Democrat. All right, Michael LaRosa, Mark Davis, we got to leave it right there. Thank you both so much.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on.
Freaking amazing, bro. Freaking amazing. Amazing. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh.
On Fox 1.
Yeah, nobody cares about the polls, dude. Nobody cares about approval polls because nobody with a right mind fills those out. So, of course, only complainers fill out polls of disapproval and approval. That's why do you think approval polls... Why do you think disapproval polls tend to be lower in approval? It's because only complainers fill out those polls, dude. Only complainer losers fill out those polls. All right. Let's see what else we got.
Chuck, as much as you love the game of golf, you'll love the fact that we've got a golf themed Nito stat of the night.
I'm ready for it, baby.
Coming up in
Oh no, that fucking photo, dude.
the next.
I'm ready for it.
Is that before roll?
Oh my god.
What's up with that pic?
You know what I like about that picture?
What?
Charles is looking hard when he's holding his golf club.
That's true. Oh.
Hard in the paint. Have you seen that picture, TK?
Charles Barkley. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, you did pretty good.
Schuster, impressive, huh?
That was impressive.
Yeah.
That was more than impressive.
Was that your new swing, or was that your? It looked like more like your new swing.
More like my new swing. I got to get it flatter in the back. It's too close to my ear.
But
I've been saying that about you for a long time. You got to get flatter in the back.
Your golf swing has evolved.
You got to get flatter in the back, Jack.
Your golf swing has evolved, I was saying. From this.
See, right there. Right there. Get flatter in the back, Chuck. Get flatter in the back. Get flatter in the back. Good, Chuck. Get flatter in the back again.
Oh, this is at the Legends at Chateau Alon. Look.
Yeah. That's my new swing. No, right here. See, you flatter in the back now. This is a great. I got to get that flatter. Yeah, it's too close to my ear.
Okay. That
Yeah, I
is
got to get that
impressive.
farther away from my ear.
No, you're game.
Yeah, thank you.
Dude, I love Charles Barkley, man. He's great.
Playing great right now. Y'all can't insult me.
No, I'm not insulting
I
you.
know
man.
you're not, but I'm talking about these two doofuses. Man, say anything.
The only thing I would say, do we still have that picture, the Chuck golf
gonna say
picture?
the same thing.
Do we still have that?
Hold on, let's see here. Got it, dude. Okay. I figured it out, boys. I figured it out, bronies. I got it. I figured it out, bro. All right, let's go, dude. It's party time.
No, come on, Andy.
No, I just had some advice. Come on. Next time you're going to do a shot like that, just face the camera. The profile just ain't working for anybody.
That is probably... Oh my god, yeah, he does look like he's hard. Oh, that's funny, man.
All right. It's hard out here. Y'all are so good, man. I think something beautiful.
No. Saying the quiet part out loud.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Hey, Austin, you're 100% right.
You're right, Lugo. Everybody feels the same way.
All I said is a photo was nothing. Y'all are crazy, man.
That's a rapper inside the NBA.
For y'all Saturday.
Charles and Kenny and Jack Ernie Johnson Sports Centers.
Life is not hard, America. Life isn't.
Oh, that was fabulous, man. That was pretty funny. Oh, dude, Chuck, Shaq, Ernie, and Kenny are amazing, dude. Oh, DOJ charges $15 and $90 million Minnesota fraud
Welcome back in
schemes.
here to Live and Now from Fox. I am Andy Mack. A developing story that we followed for some time out of Minnesota as fraud is running amok in Minnesota. The Justice Department bringing charges against 15 people accused of receiving federal payments for a variety of social services administered by the state government. And this comes as a woman convicted is what is being called the single largest COVID-19 fraud scheme in the country, sentenced to more than 40 years in prison. This a post from the White House on social media saying the war on fraud big win. 15 individuals just indicted in Minnesota for an alleged $90 million health care fraud scheme. American taxpayers deserve to know exactly where their hard-earned money is going. This is what accountability looks like. For more on this, let's go out to Mike Tobin with the latest.
The fraud here in Minnesota is shocking.
The Trump administration announcing charges against 15 people it says scammed 7 different state-managed Medicaid programs for $90 million. The healthcare fraud Midwest Task Force promises more.
My message to the fraudsters is this: eat, drink, and be merry today, because your days of frolicking and freedom are numbered.
Dude, so much fraud in Minnesota. It's crazy, dude. It is there's so much fraud in Minnesota. Thank you, Tim Walz. You are the grift that keeps on grifting, brother. Allegedly. Nick Shirley exposed everything in Minnesota, and it feels so good. I love it, bro. I love what Nick Shirley was, a virgin Mormon YouTuber, was able to expose your entire bloody operation.
Officials cited programs intended to secure housing for homeless people and treat children with autism that collapsed as fraudsters piled on.
We will not allow criminals to treat children as billing opportunities while American taxpayers foot the bill.
The woman convicted as the kingpin in the massive Feeding Our Future scandal, Amy Bach, was sentenced today to 41.5 years in prison.
It's a lot of years in prison, man. Make sure you guys double tap your screen to like the stream if you guys are tired of Minnesota and all their fraud. Double tap your screen to like the stream if you guys are tired of Minnesota. If you guys got Minnesota fatigue, if you guys got Tim Walz fatigue, please double tap your screen to make it happen.
Bach was also ordered to pay restitution on $243 million the government says was scammed through that COVID-era food program. Oh, yeah. It was intended to help kids during the...
Rackster just had comment of the year right here. All the money that could have helped socialists for healthcare. Oh my God, I love it, bro. I love it.
Pandemic, but ended with taxpayers being billed for meals that did not exist.
Yep.
Shackled in court, Bach sobbed and said, "I understand I failed. I failed the public, my family, everyone."
I don't take anything Amy Bach says at face value. Obviously, I'm sure she's emotional and sad. It's hard to watch someone be sentenced. That's true in any case.
Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar sponsored the legislation exploited for Feeding Our Future. Her net worth has been referred to the House Ethics Committee, and the vice president promises to investigate her immigration status. Omar said she's not worried.
There's nobody looking into anything. They're just saying those things to get interviews with you guys.
The assistant.
Yeah, I don't trust Omar at all, dude. I do not trust Ilhan Omar whatsoever.
An attorney general told Fox News that fraud doesn't get this severe without a lack of oversight. And it's obvious, he says, Minnesota state officials were asleep at the wheel. In Chicago, Mike Tobin, Fox News.
All right, thank you so much for that. And HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. called this organized theft of some of the most vulnerable American children. And we're also hearing from the White House as Vice President J.D. Vance on social media saying today the task force and DOJ.
Can I give you the reason why Nick Shirley was rejected from those daycares? You want to know why? Because none of them were legitimate. If they were legitimate, they could have gave him like a pamphlet or talked to him for like 3 minutes outside of the building. But instead, they just kept shoving him off and telling him to go away. All he wanted to know is, could he let his little son Timmy, his fake son Timmy, enroll? Whether the son is real or not doesn't matter. This is a public service, and if the man wants to get some bloody answers, then the man deserves some bloody answers. You know what I mean? Come on, man.
They announced a massive takedown of the two largest Medicaid fraud cases in Minnesota state history, as well as the largest autism fraud scheme ever charged by a federal government. The message is simple. If you're committing fraud, we will find you. We won't rest until justice is served. He also released this video message on social media.
Just like all of you, I was shocked last December when I watched Nick Shirley's bombshell investigation.
Big dick Nick, everybody. Dude, Nick Shirley blew the lid off of it, man.
Of migrant fraud in Minnesota, which called attention to the now infamous Quality Learning Center instead of Learning and other schemes across that state. This morning, the ringleader of the $250 million Feeding Our Future fraud scheme in Minnesota was sentenced in federal court to over 40 years in prison, bringing justice to the countless school children and families she had scammed. And on top of that, today, federal law enforcement launched a massive raid in Minneapolis. Across the city, agents have arrested 15 people for suspected fraud that amounted to $90 million. This includes two of the largest Medicaid fraud cases in Minnesota history, as well as the largest autism fraud scheme ever charged by the U.S. federal government.
That's crazy.
With this action, we're bringing justice to some of America's most vulnerable citizens and justice to the American taxpayer. In 2018, Minnesota tried to provide housing services for the homeless. They estimated that the cost of the program would be $2.5 million a year. By 2024, the program had exploded to $104 million annually, and almost all of it was because of fraud. As a result, the state had to shut down the program and can no longer provide those services to Americans in need. So we've got homeless veterans sleeping on the streets because fraudsters got rich.
Yep.
But it's not just the homeless who are the
crazy, effing crazy, man.
Victims of these fraudsters. The victims in the cases announced by DOJ today also include disabled Americans who rely on community support to live full, independent lives, and citizens for whom defrauding such programs is literally a matter of life and death. In one of the most horrifying cases charged today, a recipient who needed 24-hour care was supposed to be receiving exactly that through a Minnesota Medicaid benefit program. But he received nothing. No care, no services, nothing for months on end. And then he went quiet. For 2 days, a neighbor tried to check on him, knocking on his apartment door. Nothing. Shortly after, he was found dead. One day before this man died, the fraudster in question had tried to bill for the non-existent services. The services that if they had been...
Wow. You serious? I mean, this doesn't surprise... I don't know why this is surprising me at all. This is crazy, though.
Provide, this man might actually be with us today. To get rich off taxpayers, even at the cost of others' lives, just as that fraudster had for many months before. This kind of behavior is sickening. Yeah. It's disgusting. It's an affront to all of us as Americans. And today we're saying clearly, no more. Our message is simple.
Absolutely, dude.
If you are committing fraud, our task force will find you.
Yeah.
We'll come after you, and we will not rest until justice is served. Don't defraud the American taxpayer. Don't get rich by trying to steal from them, or we are going to come after you until justice is served. That's our promise, and we're going to stick to it.
All right, you're just listening in there to the vice president. He has led the charge in many facets around this anti-fraud, especially there in Minnesota. We also heard from Assistant Attorney Colin McDonald in the Twin Cities, leading off this press conference, talking about this massive fraud there in that state. Let's listen into this from earlier.
Good morning to you all. My name is Colin McDonald, Assistant Attorney General for the National Fraud Enforcement Division at the Department of Justice. I am joined today by a lineup of committed public servants who are devoted to protecting the financial security of America. Today, we are announcing criminal charges against 15 defendants in Minnesota for fraud schemes that targeted over $90 million in taxpayer dollars.
That is crazy.
Let me be clear up front about something. This is not the end of our work in Minnesota. This is not the end of the beginning of our work in Minnesota. This is the beginning of our work in Minnesota. The fraud here in Minnesota.
It's all just starting, baby. It's all just started, man. I love it, bro. I love it. Keep it up, dude.
Is shocking. Our cases today involve 7 different state-managed Medicaid programs that have been systematically pilfered by fraudsters who treated Minnesota-run programs as their personal piggy bank. One of the programs has been completely shut down because there's no money left. It's all gone. That was Minnesota's state-run Housing Stabilization Services Program, designed to help the homeless find and maintain housing.
Yeah.
It was estimated in 2020 that it would cost only about $2.5 million a year to fund this program, but it ended up costing almost 50 times that much, over $104 million by 2024 due to fraud. And because of all the fraud,
with the massive levels of fraud that's happening in Minnesota, dude, especially in California, God knows how much fraud is occurring in Oregon. God only knows, dude. We don't even know. Who knows how much fraud is occurring in Oregon, though? It doesn't shock me at all. I don't think it should. Reason is saying using socialist as an insult is hilarious. Well, it is hilarious because socialism, if you're a socialist, you're basically a flat earther. Let me explain it to you. Socialist equals flat earther. Now, let me make a few comparisons here, okay? I want to compare the socialist to the flat earther, right? The flat earther believes that the earth is flat. Why? Because they're crazy. You heard me. I think, look, if you thought that the earth was flat in like the 1500s, 1600s, 1700s, even the 1800s, you get a pass, okay? If you think that the earth is flat now, even with all the evidence to prove otherwise, you're a moron, all right? And if you're a socialist and you're not aware of the history of how bad socialism is, you're a moron. Here's the thing. What do socialists and flat earthers have in common? They ignore real, I'm going to spell this out, real evidence. I'm going to probably spell evidence wrong. Okay. Socialists and flat earthers have one thing in common. They ignore real evidence. On one hand, socialists ignore history. the history of socialism. They completely ignore it. And their excuse for socialism never working is that it was never implemented correctly. That is their bullshit excuse every time. It wasn't done properly. Here's the problem with socialism, though. It doesn't work with human beings. It lacks incentives. It makes people lazy. It encourages laziness, essentially, and creates poverty. Whereas also flat earthers, they ignore actual data, actual gathered data from multiple countries, by the way. Basically, when I call you a socialist, reason, you know what I'm calling, you want to know why I'm calling you a socialist? Because I see you as basically a flat earther. I think that if you believe that socialism and communism are great ideas, you're basically a flat earther. Socialist, and I'm going to put communists in there as well. Socialists and communists. Okay? Now, let's just clear the whiteboard real quick. I don't know how to clear the whiteboard exactly. Hold on. I think I could do precision eraser, smart drawing, highlighter, blah, 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 template, sticky notes. More tools? No. Where's the okay, here's the eraser. All right. So we're going to erase all this shit. But anyway, that's basically it. Socialists and flat earthers are basically one and the same. They're both crazy and they both don't understand how the world works.
Minnesota had to shut the program down in 2025, and now these services no longer exist for these vulnerable homeless populations. The same trends exist for other Minnesota-run taxpayer-funded programs. An autism program that cost the taxpayer $600,000 just 6 years ago skyrocketed to over $400 million. And to be sure, that number is not driven by supply and demand. It is not driven by health care or charity. It is fraud. To tackle this crisis, and it is a crisis in Minnesota, earlier this year, the Department of Justice surged 11 strike force prosecutors from across the country to be here on the ground fighting the rampant fraud targeting our taxpayer-funded programs. And large numbers of agents from our partners at the FBI, HHS-OIG, HSI, IRSCI, and others joined our prosecutors to rapidly unmask fraudulent actors in Minnesota. These agents and prosecutors have been working around the clock to root out the criminals stealing taxpayer dollars, and I am proud of all they accomplished in such a short time. Their hard work made today possible. Make no mistake, today's charges are unprecedented. They include the highest loss amount ever charged.
You do realize that 200 years ago, some people were actually killed for their beliefs, right? Even if they were correct.
In a Medicaid case in Minnesota, and the largest autism fraud scheme ever charged by the Department of Justice. The common theme throughout these cases is fraudsters exploiting vulnerable programs and vulnerable people to enrich themselves, no matter the consequences to the programs or to the people. For example, one defendant is charged with defrauding the Integrated Community Supports Medicaid program. This program is designed to help individuals with disabilities live independently. One patient was supposed to be receiving 24-hour care through this program, but he was actually being serviced by a fraudster and received no services. This patient was
That's so bullshit, dude.
Was later found dead.
That pisses me off, man.
Meanwhile, the architect of this fraud scheme was billing Medicaid as if he was providing care to this patient. The defendant even submitted...
It just blows my mind, man. Every time I hear it, man. Every time I hear this, it just pisses me off, dude. Pisses me off, dude.
the claim of over $400 for services he never provided the day before this man died. In another example, 2 defendants have been charged for defrauding a program designed to offer medical services to those with autism spectrum disorder. As alleged, the defendants paid kickbacks to parents who brought their children to autism centers, diagnosed children with autism regardless of medical necessity, and billed for autism services that were never actually provided.
All right, just listening in there to Assistant Attorney Colin McDonald talking about this massive fraud scheme as 15 people have been indicted on this $90+ million Medicaid fraud case. And we're also hearing from Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche about this, saying today in Minnesota, the Justice Department charged 15 defendants in a major fraud crackdown, including the largest Medicaid fraud case in the history of the district. These criminals allegedly stole from the country's most vulnerable, children with autism, the disabled, and the homeless. So this is a story we're continuing to follow on Live Now from Fox.
Spencer, welcome to The Story Is, and congrats on the run.
Amazing. Thank you for having me and for greeting me in the parking lot. That is a first out of any media hit I've done. So what a gentleman.
Talk to us about the most basic.
All right, what should we watch next, you guys? Is there anything you guys think I should react to? What sort of videos should we look into? Because I'm curious, man. I might actually want to look into something a little bit different. Give me just a moment, you guys. Sorry about that. Oh, here we go. Biden.
Welcome to a special edition of Jesse Watters Primetime. I'm Kayleigh McEnany, and for Jesse. Well, the DNC finally released their 2024 autopsy report. I have it here, and it came after.
I'm excited. Who here is riding with Biden? Who here is riding? Riding with Biden. Oh. Oh. Ugh. Oh, man. Sorry, I had to sneeze like crazy.
Kamala stained their party with her 107-day campaign. They've been trying to figure out what went wrong, and somehow it took them...
It's pretty obvious what went wrong. It was pretty damn obvious. Oh, dude.
Hey, dude, enjoy this $2. I feel really bad for you.
Hey, thank you so much, M. Madden. Everybody give a shout out to my boy, M. Madden 1495. Make sure that you guys subscribe to my boy, shaboy, dude. Shaboy, dude. Ayo. We got Yager. Where's Yager's farm at in that? I love Yagers. We need more Yagers in the house. We all love Yagers, man. We love Jim. We love all of them. We love all of them. Hey, thank you, M. Madden 1495. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Really appreciate you, brony. I love you, my brony bro. You're my pink brony bro. And we dance at the gay club. Oh my God. We're just having fun on the stage in our hooves. I'm wearing a man thong down at the Pink Brony Club. I'm gonna keep on fapping at the Pink Brony Club. I'm gonna keep on crapping down in West Hollywood. I'm gonna keep on fapping at the Pink Brony Club. Pink Brony Club. I heard that my balls are on the floor. Everybody's looking at me, they're calling me a whore. And I heard that there's a messed up place where all my brony bros are getting cream pied in their face. I'm having erotic dreams of creaming in Tennessee. Nola Santa La Monica, you'll have been so good to me. Don't make my mama proud, it's gonna cause a scene. She sees her brony boy, I know that she's gonna scream, God, what have you done? You're a pink brony bro, and you dance at the gay clubs, oh my God. I'm just having fun on the stage in our hooves. I'm wearing my man thong. Whoa, M. Madden. Whoa. Wait, why are you requesting a refund, Madden? M. Madden, why are you being such a hater? I thought you loved me, bro. I thought you loved me. M. Madden, why are you hating, dog? If I stop singing, will you not refund? Will you avoid a refund? I love you, M. Madden. You're my home dog. You're my homie. You'll make me feel so pretty. You'll make me feel so hot. You'll make me feel so good. Cheers, everybody. Yum, yum.
Almost 200 pages, literally filled with typos, to find an answer. And they still don't get it. Their biggest takeaways: you can't just be anti-Trump, you have to stay on offense, coordinate strategies, and don't take voters for granted. The diagnosis on Kamala, the $1 billion she raised.
Be likable. Stop with the socialism and communism. There's not as many dumbasses as you, okay? Socialism and communism are terrible, okay? They are the worst ideas ever created by mankind. Period. End of story, right? Pretty damn obvious, right? Come on, man.
Just wasn't enough. They want small donors opening their pockets earlier. But they finally admitted their deep bench is actually pretty thin. The autopsy says they need to focus on the long game. But the DNC didn't want this to get out. Their head, Ken Martin, said that the report wasn't ready for prime time. But even CNN wants more.
It does not touch a couple of topics that a lot of people were very interested in and thought were the reasons for this report not being out. There's nothing about Joe Biden and what happened in the debate. There's nothing about Kamala Harris getting the nomination without any kind of primary process. And also there is nothing about the way that voters were responding to Gaza and how the Joe Biden and Kamala Harris policies and comments about it were hitting their minds.
Now get this, in these 192 pages, they do not mention Biden's decline not once. Now they did mention transgender just one time. They said Trump's they-them ads crushed Kamala's campaign.
Oh yeah, well, not necessarily. If anything, it wasn't just the ad. It was Kamala Harris herself that crushed her own campaign. Nobody creates Republican voters more than Democrat politicians. Democrat politicians are so skeezy that some people will leave the party entirely and just vote for anybody else besides the Democrats. Simple as that, man.
Because it was right. The DNC says Kamala didn't connect with the working class, completely ignored middle America. She was all for they, them. Now, a source told Fox that Josh Shapiro wasn't happy that they didn't release this sooner. Maybe they were just too embarrassed to drop it. Members of their party were not impressed by the final product.
An autopsy is a medical procedure you do over a corpse. And now it sounds like we need a malpractice attorney because we couldn't even do the autopsy correctly.
But Democrats did not need a...
So Michael Janis is saying it's funny how people confuse communism with fascism. Trump is definitely fascist and... No, here's the thing. Communism is fascism. No, like communism is fascism. At the end of the day, communism quickly becomes fascism real fast. Because what happens is most people who are communists have actually a very fascist personality, which is why you see so many fascists who are communists, which is why you see Antifa, which is a communist organization, filled with actual fascists committing fascism in the name of anti-fascism. It's stupid. No, but communism is fascism, essentially. What happens is collectivism, if implemented on a massive scale, it kills societies. Communism kills societies very quickly. And once it kills a society, then people resort to desperation. And then third, somebody strong and intelligent will take over and will create an authoritarian dictatorship to then control and govern all of the idiots who believe that communism was a good idea. You guys do realize that communism sucks, right? Like, communism is one of the worst ideas that mankind has ever created, correct? Yeah, I will say Antifa is basically an anarchist organization. But Antifa is very fascist, by the way. Antifa is a fascist organization claiming to be anti-fascist. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? That would be like me saying, I love abortions. I'm pro-choice.
Rocket scientists, they did not need 200 pages. They just
needed...
No,
sorry, I'm pro... No, sorry. That'd be like me saying, I love abortions. I think abortions are wrong.
Little common sense. Here's a 5-point autopsy report. Democrats said men can become women.
So Antifa can't be fascist, huh? Why is that? Why can't the group Antifa be fascist? Well, fine, then they're authoritarian. Then they're basically anarchist authoritarians at the end of the day. If you want to get real technical with it, fine. They're anarchist authoritarians. They want to rule over you with an iron fist. And they want
Small wiener gang.
Thank you, Catherine Von Oyston. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Everybody give a shout out to Catherine for subscribing. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. We really appreciate you. Thank you, Home Dog. I appreciate you, man. Mucho love, dude. No, the problem with socialists is they don't realize that their belief system sucks. But yeah, it's crazy. Who is the leader of Antifa? It's a decentralized organization. But even if there is no centralized leader, an organization, whether it's decentralized or not, is still an organization. You could say that Anonymous is an organization, even if it's decentralized with no centralized leadership. Anything could be an organization, even if it doesn't have central leadership. I guess you could say that the centralized leader is the idea behind the group.
Play in their sports. Democrats allowed 10 million plus illegals into our country. Democrats took inflation from 1.4% to a height of 9.1%. Democrats had a candidate that could barely string a coherent sentence together, and Democrats lied about an ailing, non-functioning commander-in-chief. There, I did that in less than 60 seconds, and I did it for free. The Democrats, though, seem much more focused on Trump. Rather than taking a deep, inward, reflective look at their policies, they wrote a Trump-focused report. 127 mentions of Trump, just 30 mentions of Biden, 0 mentions of the so-called Manosphere podcast that they overlooked, 0 mentions of Joe Rogan, whose massive audience they shunned, but a lot of downplaying their defeat. The autopsy said their defeat was by, quote, hair-splitting margins. What part of their defeat was hair-splitting? Trump won every single swing state. Trump was the first GOP candidate to win the popular vote in 20 years. Trump made double-digit increases with Black, Latino, and young voters. That is not hair-splitting. That is a landslide. Why can't they admit that?
We lost the last election. It wasn't close, okay? But the fact that we can't even tell people why, we're too afraid to tell them the truth. They know the truth. They saw the debate. They saw what happened, right? And they saw that we got killed in the election. We lost every swing state. So they can write whatever document they want, but Democrats know why we lost.
The Democrat message was, we are not Trump. An Obama world says with a message like that, it didn't matter who the messenger was.
Even if she were a flawless candidate, which she wasn't, and even if they ran a flawless campaign, I'm not sure the outcome would have been different.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing Democrats admitted, they have a man problem. Democratic men aren't showing up to cast their votes.
Yeah, because Democratic men, I think most men pretend to be Democrats. I think most Democratic men only pretend to be Democrats to get pussy. I really do. I think that these pussy-ass Democrat men only pretend to be Democrat to get pussy, but when the time comes to vote, they're probably voting for Trump. Because nobody's dumb enough to vote Democrat.
Every down ballot Democrat did better with men than Kamala Harris. And they still haven't fixed this problem. Look at this. This is shocking. A new Quinnipiac poll. Democrats only have 16% approval from men. And it's not just men.
Wow, dude. Only 16% of Democrat men approve of the Democrat Party. That's hilarious, dude. It doesn't surprise me, though. Trump's the man, dude. Trump is the GOAT, dude.
72% of voters overall disapprove of the party. It is a mess, and that is an open secret. But they think it's nothing a little marketing won't fix.
Democrats may not have the strongest brand, but we have the strongest beliefs. And in this
Dude, no, you don't, dude. You do not have the strongest beliefs. You believe in communism and socialism. That's killing your party. That's killing your party. Communism and socialism are absolutely killing your party, dude. Don't even play me like that. Don't play me like that, bro. Okay. Let's get to it.
Moment, our job is to show that Democrats and democracy can deliver.
Democrats are trying to get anyone to
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Dude, Rackster's the man, dude. This Rackster guy is a stud. I like this guy. Thank you, bro. Okay, let's keep going.
To believe them, but even their loyal wine mom fan club isn't buying what they're selling.
When I was all in on Kamala, I was, let's go, I'm Brat, all of it.
Okay.
And then at the DNC, libbed out, had a blast libbing out, right? So we lose.
Yeah.
I'm like, how the did we lose to this guy again?
Well, yeah, the reason you lost is because nobody likes you. Nobody likes your policies. Nobody likes your socialism. Nobody likes your communism. People hate those things. And you just don't get it.
So I'm ready for the resistance. I'm like, I need to get one of those pink hats. We're going to have to march. Let's go. Let's go. And it just never came.
Their party is still looking for their next leader. Stephen A. might pick up the reins. He wants blue cities to see the golden age.
Can you think of one big blue city that is thriving right now?
No, I cannot.
And that's the answer.
Chicago.
Stephen A's being honest, dude. Just like his microphone says, straight shooter, dude. Stephen A understands, bro. Stephen A. Smith gets it. He gets it, man.
Well, I can't say it's LA. I can't say it's New York. I can't say that.
Well, look at LA. The Dems' top two candidates for mayor are getting out-hustled by a reality star.
Yep.
A new poll has Spencer Pratt 3% behind incumbent Mayor Karen Bass. And he's already beating Councilwoman Nithya Raman. Now, Gavin Newsom's not worried. He just announced Karen Bass. She's doing such a good job, he says. She deserves a promotion.
In the context of...
Oh, Gavin Newsom is disgusting. Gavin Newsom's terrible, dude.
Where we are today and the work that we have ahead of us, I thought the meeting that Karen Bass had with the president was a very positive meeting. I think the work she's doing now on permits in particular, getting those permit times down, we're seeing real progress. And I think she deserves to be promoted for those things.
But if Karen wants it, she should probably read the autopsy.
He wants to explore ways to let non-citizens vote in city elections. Politics is all about timing. With Donald Trump in the White House, is this the right time for Los Angeles to go down this path?
Well, I think we need to explore it. Now, I've not seen exactly what he's calling for. I have a little familiarity of what happens in other cities. And, for example, some cities will allow people to vote in.
Dude, Karen Bass is awful, dude. If anybody in LA is voting for Karen Bass, I don't know what to tell you.
Like city council and school board elections because they pay local taxes, but they are not necessarily undocumented. They might be here completely legally, but have not finished the citizenship process.
Non-citizen voting, that's what she wants. Well, the other candidate, Nithya Raman, wants to ban barbecues to protect the community from wildfires. But Spencer Pratt said that's not happening, so he hosted a huge block party full of barbecues for the whole community. The Pratt factor just wants to enjoy some LA fun since he lost his entire neighborhood.
They burned my entire town down. Yeah. They let my neighbors burn alive. And I don't live at the Hotel Bel Air, and I don't live in Santa Barbara. I live in that dirt. I'm not crying because now I'm fighting for people. I'm not a fire victim, I'm a fighter.
Pratt did his own autopsy on LA and is running on the real issues to fix the city. Democrats should take notes.
All I hear...
See, Pratt's taking this from a pure problem solver point of view. People love people who problem solve, right? If you're trying to solve a problem and you're addressing the problem and you're offering a solution, even if it's not the best one at the time, it's still something. Something is better than nothing. And acknowledging where the problems are allows us to come up with the equitable solutions. Simple as that. So, I don't know.
All day long from everyone is excuses. I'm going to find and fight for solutions to make people safe. If we really have a bed issue, I promise you I will do everything to make sure the beds are existent. But I don't believe we have a bed issue. I believe we have people that don't want to use the beds because they want to do drugs and be on the street.
If the Democrats want any chance of winning the midterms, they should look at Pratt. For that matter, Republicans should too. Too bad he is a registered Republican that's leading the way for the party, and anyone with these days is one.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the...
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Spencer Pratt at this point. I hope he wins LA because I think LA's scared. I think the Democrat Party in LA is scared because there's a real chance that Spencer Pratt could win this. There's a real chance. Like, it's real. I think people are fed up with Karen Bass, especially after those LA wildfires, man. Hey, we got my boy Frog Eat Frog in the house. What up, Brony? We got my favorite Brony bro, dude. Frog Eat Frog, everybody. I love you, Brony. Mwah. Mwah. I want to give Frog Eat Frog a kiss. Mwah. Thank you, bro. Spencer Pratt, baby. Let's just watch a little more Pratt, dude. Pratt attack. I love Spencer Pratt, dude. And here's the thing. The Democrats don't understand, or at least they don't understand why people hate them, or two, they understand why people hate them, but they're angry about it, so they want to shove their ideology down those people's throats even more. That doesn't work. You're only going to create more resentment. There's a lot of resentment towards the Democrat Party. There has been for a very long time. And it's showing. It's even showing in the LA mayoral race. Spencer Pratt has a real shot at winning. And also check out the Oregon governor race. Christine Drazan actually has a fair shot at winning. I think Drazan actually has a real chance at winning, because I think a lot of people in Oregon are pissed off at Tina Kotek and they don't approve of what she's doing. And I think what's going to end up happening is I think people will vote for Drazan because they're not gonna want to deal with Kotek. And I think a lot of people just won't even vote. The people who are going to vote for Tina Kotek are just not even going to vote at all. So that's going to be huge, dude. We could have a red wave right here in Oregon and have the first Republican governor in, like, I don't even know how long it's been a while. But I love what Spencer Pratt is doing.
Bid to be LA mayor is getting more fuel thanks in part to the many missteps of his opponent. Current mayor Karen Bass and her fumbling of the city's homeless crisis is one of the things. Watch here.
Your goal was to end street homelessness in LA by 2026. How were you so off?
Well, basically, when I said that, it was at the beginning of my term. I didn't anticipate some of the bureaucratic barriers that I would experience, but I am prepared to take those on now.
But you promised that it would go away 100%, and it's only gone down about 17.6%.
Right.
So why should people trust you that you're going to be able to get to them?
I don't think homelessness in LA has gone down 17%. In fact, I would argue it's probably increased. And knowing LA, knowing California, as one would, it wouldn't surprise me if they were allegedly cooking the books on those statistics. So, still noticeable. And her solutions to the problem are the most low IQ solutions I've ever heard. Low IQ. Yay, congratulations. Reason is finally leaving the chat. I was just ignoring Reason until Reason decided to finally go. Thank you, Reason. You are without reason, but I'll still give you an honorable send-off. Everybody, give a shout-out to Reason for finally leaving the chat. Reason, you're probably eating chips off of your chest while you type out that message. Loser. And also, Reason, socialism's stupid. Hey, what's up, Mad, my boy, dude? We got Mad in the house. What's up, my brony bro, my bony bro, dude?
Because let me just tell you, for the first time, we've had a decrease at all.
But Spencer.
For the first time, we had a decrease at all. Dude, I have a feeling that those numbers are flubbed. Flubbed. I just, that's my belief on it, man. I have such a distrust of the Democrat Party that I don't really believe a word they say. Let's go, bro.
Mr. Pratt says that the city needs a more common sense approach.
These people need medical treatment, not what Nithya and Karen Bass are talking
And where
about.
do they-
They have the right to experience drug addiction and die 7 people on the street every day. No, I'm actually the compassionate one running here. I don't believe we have a bed issue. I believe we have people that don't want to use the beds because they want to do drugs.
They want to
be
be
on
high.
the street.
Exactly.
What do you think of his candidacy, Joey?
Exactly.
He knows.
Larson Christopher, what up, bro? How you doing, man? How you doing, my brony bro?
All the problems. He may not know all the answers, but he is doing a hell of a job identifying the problems. I mean, she sits there and she goes, I wasn't prepared for the bureaucracy. It's like, ma'am, you ran for mayor. What did you
Yeah, she wasn't prepared for the bureaucracy. That is such a bad excuse, dude. That is such a terrible excuse. I wasn't prepared. I wasn't prepared. Good Lord, man.
think it was going to be? I mean, maybe she's always been a bully and she thought she could just bully her way there, or maybe she's not very good at it and she's looking for an excuse.
I think Karen Bass is a bully at the end of the day. I think she's a bully. I don't think she exactly knows what she's doing. Now, it's good to see you, Larson. It's good to see you, Brony. We got Annie, we got Larson, we got Rackster in the house. We did have Reason, who was a total chud. We've Frog Eat Frog is in the house. We love our boy Frog Eat Frog. I don't know if my boy Frog Eat Frog is currently gooning at the moment, but I do hope he's doing all right. We do love the Frogster.
She also said something like, in response to him, she said something along the lines of, you go spend a week on the streets and see if your mental health doesn't change. And it's like, well, my man did get homeless. I mean, it probably did affect his mental health so much that now he wants to run for mayor and fix this place. It's the way she's smug about it. I think
yeah, she's way too smug about this crap. How can you take one look at Karen Bass and say, I'm voting for her? No, not even just that. It's just her attitude. It's really her attitude that pisses me off. Her smugness, like he just pointed out, is really a big turnoff. And that's not who I want to vote for. If I was living in LA, man, I would not want to vote for that. Not in the slightest, dude. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Yeah, Karen Bass is allegedly psychotic. I'll just say allegedly to cover my ass.
It turns off voters.
But I think she's an awful
but I don't
candidate.
know. I mean, I think they could run Joe Biden right now and he'd probably win.
She's an awful mayor,
Probably not going to vote for a Republican. But I think Spencer's doing a good job.
He explained why he became a Republican here. If you can play that, please.
When I was a hated reality star,
I
got so many death threats. I had so much security and police, and what did they tell me to do? Get a gun. I got a gun. My wife got a gun. And then we needed CCWs. The only people that supported a CCW was the Republican. That was what I aligned with, my safety, my personal safety, my family's safety.
So, like, that's the base need is your family security.
Well, yeah, that's why people find him so refreshing. You don't have to even like Pratt to despise everything that Bass represents.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Even if you don't like Spencer Pratt completely, if you have to choose between the two, who are you choosing? I think the obvious choice is Spencer Pratt. I'd like to believe. I would like to believe that most people with a little bit of logic in their brain, a little bit of sanity in their mind, would choose Pratt over Karen Bass. I would like to believe that people have some semblance of sanity these days. Maybe.
She's a professional gaslighter, and it's done as a survival mechanism. If I can lie for the next couple of months, effectively, I'll get another 4 years to leech off the system. Meanwhile, you see these ads for Pratt, which a lot of them are AI. The AI ads are more realistic than the Dems when they try to act authentic. Like she comes off as AI when she talked. You know, she was talking about the homeless, saying it's not about drugs, it's about poverty. She portrays the homeless that goes against everything every citizen who lives in a blue city knows and understands. If you spend all your money on drugs, you're not going to be able to afford rent. So you move to California where rent isn't necessary. The weather is great. The laws are non-existent. Food's available. You can get a dog, test your drugs on them. But over time, you're no longer human.
Fucked up, dude.
So she was mad that he compared her to zombies. What are they? When you talk to anybody on the street, and I do, sometimes not by choice, you're not talking to a human being. You're talking to a drug. The drug is in front of you. They are not in control of the situation. At least we understand that. Pretending that they're in control of the situation is not compassion, it's cruelty. Her arguments are designed as obstacles to solutions. Instead of confronting a problem, she denies it exists. It isn't drugs, it's
that's
poverty.
what she does, dude.
No, it isn't. Absolutely. You will not find a homeless person
Laugh
who
out
is
loud.
healthy, sane, and poor. You know,
Hey, thank you, User Over. I appreciate the gold coin for 10 joules. Mucho apreciado. Everybody give a shout out to my boy, User Over, for the gold coin. Thank you so much, Brony Bro. You're my pink brony bro, and we dance at the gay clubs. Oh my God, I'm just having fun on the stage in my hooves. I'm wearing a man thong. Now, I love Donald Trump, dude. What are you talking about, bro? Rackster is a smarter man than I am. I'm going to give Rackster props because Rackster actually has the balls to block people on his own personal feed. I don't block any of you guys. There are some people I'll make an exception for when it comes to blocking. I may block them. But yeah, let's keep going, guys. Let's keep going. The reason I stick with MAGA, to be honest, I love the Make America Great Again movement because it saves us from the Democrats. If it can promise me to save us from the Democrats, and if it goes against socialism and communism, which is one of the main reasons I can't stand the Democrats, socialism and communism are the main reasons I can't stand the Democrats, bro.
Poor people, by definition, don't just decide to ruin their lives. And if Bass finds one rare example of, some like senior citizen woman who's healthy and sane, it's as rare as a streaking comet, and it will be gone just as quickly. Her argument does not come from compassion. It's for self-preservation.
Yeah, I just ignore a lot of the
nothing she does is designed for the people. It's designed for her.
And Jessica, I was actually looking at this policy-wise. What would be the objection to voting for Pratt? If you wanted change, he is a Republican, but I'm looking at the things that he wants to do. It doesn't seem to me that I can't imagine most normal Democrats would disagree.
Some of them, certainly the stuff related to the rebuild and cutting red tape to make sure that if you have an enormous fire and your home is incinerated, that you can build something new and get back in there. That's something that Kennedy talks about all the time. Her neighborhood was totally devastated by this. Around homelessness, there are a lot of people who feel similarly. If you listen to Matt Mahan, the mayor of San Jose, it doesn't sound that different.
Right.
But it comes with somebody that actually knows how to get things done in government. And I think that is fundamentally what people are going to have the problem with Spencer Pratt. He doesn't have the requisite experience on any level. I'm not just even talking about, you want to say, oh, Donald Trump, and he's not my guy, but he ran a big organization, right? I mean, Spencer Pratt has been filming himself or being filmed for the entirety of his life. He does not have experience.
Well, he does run his own business, just to let you know, Spencer Pratt. That is, what Jessica Tarlov is saying is incorrect, because last time I checked, Pratt does run his own business, just as a heads up.
Experience in any of this. He hasn't made it clear that he's
Laugh
going
out
to hire
loud.
the right people. I mean, to my mind, if Rick...
Hey, thank you, User Over, for sending a chili. Chili's baby back ribs. I appreciate it, my pink brony bro. We all dance at our gay clubs, oh my god. We're just having fun on the stage in our hooves. I'm wearing my man thong.
Caruso had said, I'm going to get in this race, he would have steamrolled the field. The guy who arguably should have won the time before when he ran against...
But Pratt is the one getting the attention.
Well, can I just say something? And I'm hearing this from friends in LA as well. Spencer Pratt has a very online candidacy.
Yes.
And that does not necessarily...
So did Mamdani. So did Zorhan Mamdani when he ran for the New York mayoral race, and he won it because all the socialist idiots thought he was a good candidate.
Translate to votes. His odds of winning, as he, gains steam, his odds of winning in the betting markets are going down. And people are also seeing things like videos of him palling around with Alex Jones from years ago, saying, I'm going to catch flack for this, but you're a really good guy. And, please, people see this Sandy Hook.
I still think Spencer Pratt has a shot at winning. I still do. I really, really do. I just think that there are people in LA who are secretly fed the fuck up with Karen Bass. They're done with Karen Bass, and they're going to vote in. And what I think is going to happen, this is my prediction, they are going to vote in Spencer Pratt. Let me ask ChatGPT a question real quick. When will we know the results of the LA mayoral race? Oh, the results are coming in here pretty soon. For the 2026 Los Angeles mayoral race, we should start seeing unofficial results after polls close at 8 p.m. Pacific on Tuesday, June 2nd, 2026. California counties begin reporting results at 8 p.m. and updating the totals at least every 2 hours during the semifinal canvass. The key timeline is June 2nd, 2026. First unofficial results start coming in election night. Let's see. Next morning, we may see a strong idea of the outcome. Interesting. So I think... Okay. Wow, that's crazy. So we'll basically get the unofficial results by June 2nd. Oh man, I really do hope Spencer Pratt wins, dude. If Spencer Pratt becomes the mayor of LA, faith will have been restored in California. I will have faith in California will have been restored if Spencer Pratt wins the LA mayoral race.
Spin that they have, and they're like, he doesn't believe the parents and the babies. Talking about a guy who said that those were child actors.
No, I know. It's similar to, we've seen this before, Rachel. People, but like people nationally will be following something, and Pratt has done that. He has found a constituency all across America when he actually needs the votes in LA. But his point about compassion, I thought that was a good one.
So these ads are very interesting. One of them, he's got these guys in the backyard, and they're all saying, well, he's kind of right about this. I mean, and they're kind of reluctant to say they're going to vote for him. And then at the end, they go, I think I'll vote for him. And then they say, I mean, I'm not MAGA or anything. I'm not MAGA or anything. And it reminds me of something. Back in 2016, when President Trump was running in that election, I was a political spouse. And so people knew where I stood, right? My husband endorsed Donald Trump, the first one in Wisconsin. And so people would come to me and say, I'm voting for Trump. And they would whisper it to me. They felt, this was in Wisconsin, in rural Wisconsin. People were afraid to say they would vote for Trump because it would...
There were a lot of people who were in the closet about voting for Trump, too. They just voted for Trump because they couldn't tell their family and friends because they weren't sure if their family or friends were going to go crazy on them for voting for Trump. So, yeah, no, I was loud and proud, maybe to my own detriment. I was very unapologetic about voting for Trump, and I still am. If you guys want me to apologize for voting for Donald Trump, I'm going to give you a fat middle finger and tell you to F off. I will not vote Democrat at all. You give me another option besides Democrat, I'm going to circle it. And I circled Donald Trump, baby. 2016, 2020, 2024. Democrat Party, the problem is the Democrat Party is a lost BS party.
Seem like you're a bad person or you're a racist. So I find that very interesting. I think he's plain spoken. I think that word that she used, the unhoused, that's a weird word. Nobody talks about the unhoused. It's a word that's meant to shame you for noticing that people are on the streets with, needles everywhere and you have to walk over feces to get to school. I think people are sick of that. I think he has common sense.
He does. Spencer Pratt has what we like to call street smarts. I like this guy, man. I like him a lot. I think he's a stud, dude.
Real quick, I really want to know what your response is to Jessica's take that people that are like, reality TV stars don't really have that experience to go be leaders.
Yeah, well, first of all, he was invested in the show that he made him famous. So he is a businessman in production and reality TV. He's obviously a successful guy. Apparently, he can rent a hotel in Bel Air and hang out there. I can't do that for a week.
I like Bel Air.
Yeah. So I think people overestimate what it takes to run. If you have common sense, you are humble enough to reach out to people who can help you to get the job done, you can do it.
He hasn't said that, though,
where's
at
her
all.
training? In the summer, when she was a kid.
I got faith in Spencer Pratt, bro. Double tap your screen. Double tap the screen if you think that Spencer Pratt's the man. If you think that Spencer Pratt is winning the LA mayoral race, double tap your screen, man. If you guys wish you could vote for Spencer Pratt, double tap your screen, man. If you think Spencer Pratt is a legend, double tap your screen. Let's go, bro.
When she was in college, she went to Cuba and was a youth brigade person. Back then she has communist sort of vibes about her. That's what her background is, and she's clearly.
Oh, and Karen Bass allegedly loves I'm going to say allegedly just in case. Karen Bass allegedly loves communism based on what I've heard. Just saying. Communism's not a good thing. You should not wear it as a badge of honor. If anything, I consider communism a badge of dishonor, and honestly, distrust. I think it's a form of distrust. E.T. says, Garza, I don't think you're a racist. You demand, Garza. Thank you, E.T. I appreciate you, my brony bro. So John says you could put a bag of dog feces up as a Republican, and these idiots will vote for them. Here's the thing, though, John. That bag of dog feces would run the country better than all of the Democrat candidates. That's the irony about all this. The hilarious, beautiful irony.
Really doing a bad job. Why not take a chance on Pratt? Just like people said, let's take a chance on Trump.
Because it could always get worse, as it did with Trump.
Be sure
Everybody
to
keeps saying it's gotten worse under Trump, dude. It's actually gotten better under Trump. Are you kidding me? Come on, man.
There's been a lot of talk on social media about how Barkley talking about.
Oh, what would that be?
I watched the whole game.
Hey, nice flex.
Well, I was going back and forth between that and the hockey game, not going to lie.
You watch your whole game.
Yeah. But I was going back and forth between the Kings and the Avs.
Okay, get to the point. Rambling wreck.
You people at home and on TV talking about they were physical with Wemby. Man, y'all need to stop it. I've been kissed harder.
I've been kissed harder.
Is he physical, putting a body on him? See that, Modesto Galato, could you stop it? That little stuff he was doing, Hartenstein, I love Hartenstein. But he just put a body on Wemby. It wasn't overly aggressive. It
was physical for sure. I watched some of the highlights, and Hartenstein was getting pretty physical with him, but I don't know. It's tough to say. Let's keep watching.
There was no excessive fouls, but for you people thinking that's physicality, y'all need to shut the hell up.
Well, in this day and age.
Well,
yes, you're right, Ernie.
This day and age. Yeah, but I don't think Wemby's complaining. So he's not worried about it. I think Wemby's like, okay, you want to play like this? I can
play like what?
No, whatever you want to play.
You don't want to be touched at all?
Wemby's not complaining. That's the fans complaining.
And the announcers.
Well, I will say this. The one thing that will change the direction of the Spurs, I've never seen this ever happen where a guy can be so dominant when he's got the basketball, but he still turns it over. And that's Castle.
20 turnovers in 2 games.
That's crazy.
Because
20 turnovers in 2 games? Damn, dude, you gotta protect the ball, man. That's huge.
Usually you're turning the ball over because guys, you can't really handle them. But when he doesn't turn it over, he is dominant against these guys. All you have to do is keep the basketball.
But in fairness, it ain't all him.
20 turnovers, though.
Yeah, and first of all, he does 2 minute turnovers. Yeah. But They have the best perimeter defense in the NBA.
He can handle it because when he doesn't turn it over, they can't guard him.
Yeah.
So that means that
just shoot it and not pass it.
That's all I would be doing. I'd be getting to the rim.
By the way, heading into Game 3 now, the injury situation. Dylan Harper, De'Aaron Fox, J-Dub, all listed as questionable
But it's
right
better
now.
it's better for the Thunder. And what I mean by that is
because they're used to playing without him.
100%.
Yeah.
They're used to playing without Jalen Williams. Without Fox and without Harper, that's a big deal.
Put Wemby at the point.
And San Antonio, I can't wait.
Give me this, young.
Oh, my goodness.
Watch your head.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, my God.
I said 1, 2, 3.
What?
That is a pretty good dunk right there, man. That's crazy. That's freaking wild, man.
Voting against the party on...
Oh, shit, dude. J.D. Vance, what did he tell? I wonder what he told Massey, man. Because if he's talking about Massey, who voted against the party all the time, dude. Oh my God.
Every single issue, you're eventually going to make too many enemies.
Here's JD doing a really nice job on what had sort of happened with Massey as it relates to voting for Republican beliefs, especially in the face of radical Democrats.
I think the problem with Thomas, and I've told him this in private, and now I guess I'll say it in public, is it's one thing to disagree with the party on a particular issue. It's one thing to take, to have your independent stand on a number of questions. And by the way, some of the stuff where Thomas Massey has been independent against the Republican Party, I've agreed with him with. Thomas and I worked together during 2023, where I was trying to stop the limitless flow of American money to Ukraine, and Thomas was one of the people I was working closest with it. But that's one thing. Being independent, having your own opinions is one thing. Voting against the party on every single issue, you're eventually going to make...
Yeah. And that's the problem. Like, I'm not a big fan of voting on party lines alone. I do understand that you said you had to vote with your conscience and things like that. I get that, but to vote against every single thing, I can understand if you want to maybe vote for maybe only 70 or 80% of it, fine. But for everything, that sucks, dude. J.D. Vance is calling Massey out, bro. J.D. Vance is straight up
too
calling
many
him
enemies.
out, bro.
And that is the problem that Thomas has had. It's not one issue. It's not 3 or 4 issues. It's that every time that we've needed Thomas for a vote, he has been completely unwilling to provide it.
Yeah.
That is why the President of the United States has trained his ire on Thomas Massey. It's because we can never count on him for some of the most difficult votes.
Yeah.
I wish that weren't the case.
Exactly.
I say that as somebody who's known Thomas well before I got into politics, but politics is politics, and when you always vote against the party, you can't expect the party to actually back you.
So,
yeah, I mean, that's true. Why would the party? Yeah, I get that completely. Why would the Republican Party want to even back you if you're just going to vote the opposite of every single thing that we're trying to accomplish? I don't get that.
It's worth noting that, as you probably saw in the corner there, that was from October of 2025. So the Trump-Massey fight was going on for a while. That's also a great example of what I always say about JD. Trump, great at bumper sticker stuff, like Thomas Massey's a loser. Okay. And then JD really explained it right there. Politics is a strange game. You can have your beliefs, you can have your ideals, you can have your political philosophy, and then there's a game that is being played, and you have to figure out how to manage coalitions. You got to figure out who your allies are and everything else. And that's why...
Oh, I see Frog Eat Frog in the crowd. Frog Eat Frog, everybody. Frog Eat Frog. Here we go, dude. My boy. Formerly known as Dog Eat Dog. Frog Eat Frog. Let's go, bro. Let's go, brony.
I think what Massey's real mistake was in the last few days, as all of these progressives were coming in and supporting him, maybe he needed to explain to the average person of Kentucky in his district why he doesn't want their
Frog eat frog, we love you, bro.
support. I'm a libertarian, that doesn't mean I want this progressive support. So I know people are trying to make huge judgments on this election, but I would fundamentally say that this is just further proof that Donald Trump has a lock on MAGA more than anything else. And as JD pointed out, I think JD's really taking the same tack that I'm taking there. He's saying, I like a lot of his stuff, but it is what it is. Like, politics is a tough freaking game. Let's not forget, Thomas Massey and I were on the same side during the Republican primary supporting DeSantis, right? He then decided he was going to go all in and try to break Trump, and at the end of the day, it's politics, and Trump needs allies. JD understood that, I think explained it quite well.
On June 11th, the Rubin Report will be live at the Fillmore, Miami Beach with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, Ben Shapiro, Adam Carolla, Jillian Michaels, and little old me. Seats are limited and going fast, so if you've been
Let's see if we can react to you guys. Let's take a quick gander. Steve Forbes is saying you'll start to see gas prices go down. Let's take a listen.
Protect hundreds of thousands of jobs and save Americans well over $2 billion a year by officially terminating the Biden administration's ridiculous regulations imposing costly requirements on refrigerators and air conditioners. It's ridiculous, unnecessary, and costly, and actually makes the machinery worse.
Yeah, it's choking. God, Trump's the man, dude. Trump is the GOAT. This is one of the reasons why I voted for him. I wanted deregulation. I wanted less regulation on things. A lot of the things that we regulate don't need to be regulated. Period. End of story.
Choking business. President Trump rolling back Biden-era regulations that impose costly environmental burdens on refrigerators and air conditioners. Today's actions, as you heard from the president, going to save people about $2 billion and project nearly 350,000 jobs protected. The president also revealing it could lower the cost at grocery stores and the transportation of goods as well. Here he was.
And higher taxes. Thanks to today's reforms, the American people have lower grocery prices, cheaper transportation of goods, lower cost of air conditioning.
Again, environmental regulations, the boogeyman. Steve Forbes, chairman and editor-in-chief of Forbes Media, joins us now, along with Brandon Ferris, the executive vice president of Steel Manufacturers Association here in the United States. Gentlemen, pleasure to have you both on. Steve, you're sitting next to me. How you doing?
Doing very well, and love those deregulation moves. That was one of the things that was killing manufacturing in this country. And the amazing thing is, if you allow free markets to work, things like refrigerators, air conditioners will not only get better, but cheaper. Regulations are just the opposite.
It's like the tip of the iceberg, right? No pun intended here. We're talking refrigeration. What deregulation can do for this country and the detriment that it has had on being able to produce our own product.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of deregulation. There's a lot of regulations that don't need to exist, that actually stifle and harm the functionality of certain products. Like, usually, this is why I don't like big government. I like it when government's small. I like it when government's divided. I like it when they have to really debate an idea that matters to me. Ideas need to be debated. You can't just all blindly vote yes on any bill that comes your way.
Yeah, a typical manufacturer now spends $29,000 per employee to comply with regulations. That, thankfully, is going to be reversed. Ask yourself this question. Does China charge effectively employees $29,000 in regulations? You know the answer.
No, they don't. So this is a good move by President Trump.
Fantastic. It's not glamorous, deregulation, but by golly, it's essential for getting this.
I think you know what? Honestly, I think deregulation is glamorous, especially when there's too many stupid regulations out there. I think it's glamorous to deregulate. I completely disagree with Steve Forbes on this one. Completely disagree. Let's keep going.
This economy back on track.
$29,000 per person, killing businesses. Hate to see that. Brandon, want to bring you in here. I like to talk about wins, manufacturing, making America strong again. Let's talk about steel, your industry. I know the president, his tariffs, they have done a lot to save the steel industry. Right now, we're sitting as the third biggest manufacturer of steel in the entire world. That has jumped up. We're pumping about 82 million tons of steel per year. That was back in 2025. Talk about what the president has been able to do in terms of steel.
We're back. The U.S. steel industry is back. President Trump and his administration have been a driving force behind that resurgence. The 232 steel tariffs were the most significant pro-growth, pro-manufacturing action in a generation. It's ignited an American industrial revival, and it's reshaping those steel communities across the country. Thanks to the 232 steel tariffs, American steel production increased 2.5 million tons last year. And then over the next 2 years, we have an additional 4 million tons coming on. With that production increase alone, we can build 6 million more cars. That is how manufacturing comes back. It shows real industrial growth, real investment, and real jobs returning back to those American communities.
Like, I'm down for that, dude. I'm fine with manufacturing coming back, man. I think it's good. I think it's a good thing. We need more jobs, so yeah. Sounds great to me, man.
This is what I like to talk about. The people on the coast and the big cities, they don't get this, but with what you just said, we are talking about saving towns, families where their kids don't have to move away and break up and go to college and find work elsewhere. I mean, this is big, what you just said.
Absolutely. So from 1990 to 2019, the Midwest lost 1 million manufacturing jobs. President Trump, through his pro-growth...
Laugh out loud.
Hey, thank you so much. Everybody give a shout out to Blue Meanie, everybody. Thank you for sending me the Stay Hydrated turtle for 550 joules. Mucho apreciado. Oh, wait a minute. Is the Blue Meanie Frog Eat Frogs alternate account, if I remember correctly? OMG. Blue Meanie is that Frog Eat Frogs alt account?
Laugh out loud.
I think that might be, dude. Blue Meanie sent, or is Blue, the question is Blue Meanie Frog Eat Frog? Thank you for the lol. Oh, he said Blue Meanie sent a bunch of frog emojis. That might be the bat signal.
Laugh out loud.
That this is Frog Eat Frog. Thank you so much, Blue Meanie, for the Stay Hydrated and for the laugh out loud. Thank you for the floating heart, my brony bro. Appreciate it. Gotta give you your love. Now, Blue Meanie, are you Frog Eat Frog? That is the question. Or are you Dog Eat Dog? Who are you? Blue Meanie, at the end of the day, what is your true identity? Oh, Blue Meanie says, love you, Gars. 'Tis I, the frogman cometh. So it is. Frog eat frog. Frog eat frog. OMG. I love it, man. Hey, thank you, Frog. I appreciate the gifts, man. My brony brother. Mucho apreciado. Always appreciate it, man. We appreciate it big time.
Strategies and policies is bringing it back.
Love to hear. Let's do this, Steve. I want to talk about gas prices. I don't want to be naive that they are a lot more expensive right now. I want to bring up here and show everybody $4.56 per gallon, one of the highest on record as we have the Memorial Day weekend. We do have the president talking about that. I'm going to bring up a soundbite.
That'll end soon, very soon. And when it ends, your gasoline prices will go down lower than they were before. You know, I left Iowa a few months ago, and gasoline was at $1.85 a gallon.
Steve, I feel like once it is officially over, as we discussed with manufacturing deregulation, what Brandon just said about steel, I mean, this economy is about to rip. Do you think it comes down quickly, though, the price of gas?
I think it will. The key thing is to get this war over with. I'll be blunt with you. I thought the ceasefire was a mistake. These guys are incorrigible in Iran.
I agree with Steve Forbes. I don't think we ever should have done a ceasefire. We should never have tried to negotiate with Iran. I think it's been a huge mistake. I think we just need to finish the job, rip off the Band-Aid. Rip off the Band-Aid.
I think we're going to have to go back and take them out when that war is over, whether it's a week, a month, 6 weeks, whatever. Yes, you'll see oil flowing again. You'll start to see gas prices go down. It's not just a specific number. If people see one of those big signs that you have now, see it go down, 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 that puts you in a better frame of mind. Things are starting to work again.
So you are very optimistic once this thing's over with.
Got to get it over with. Sooner the better. Absolutely.
Okay. Yep. Steve Forbes, Brandon Ferris, appreciate you both coming on. Love to have that kind of conversation.
I love it, man. I love it, dude. Everybody give a shout out to Blue Meanie, a.k.a. the Frogman. The Frogman cometh. We all love Frog Eat Frog on this channel. He is our home dog. Mistake. He is our home frog. Well, you guys, I think I am going to go to bed here in just a little bit, but I want I wouldn't say go to bed, I got to take a shower, but before I take a shower, I want to react to one more video before I got to go. I want to thank everybody for contributing, by the way, all the gifts and everything. It really helps out quite a bit. Let's keep going, man. Let's see what we got here. Ugh. Oh, fed up father publicly dismantles leftist superintendent as kid's
This
school
dad
is to look.
absolutely decimated the school board and calls out the superintendent.
Dr. Kelly King is sitting right here to my left.
This will be the last video that I react to for the rest of the night, just because I just want something to react to that's kind of short but fun to react to. I want to give my legitimate opinion. E.T., love you, bro. You're the man.
Left.
All they can do is try and shut him down by claiming, hey, you can't point these things out because that's a personal attack.
Dr. Kelly King makes over $250,000 a year. Every 4 years, we give her $1 million. And she's doing things that I completely disagree with. In a recent video in 2017, she reflected Glendale Unified policy when she stated, "We have a lot of resistance from male coaches who are horrified at the thought of having a biological girl changing clothes in front of them." Which biological girls are changing clothes in front of coaches in Glendale Unified? That's a question I'm genuine.
That's kind of creepy. That's not just kind of creepy. That's extremely creepy that that's happening. Holy crap.
Asking. She continued, "It's not a girl. It's not a girl. It's not a girl. You only have boys in the boys' locker room." She just said it was a biological girl.
May I just stop
I'm
for a
speaking
moment?
now. You're not. No, I'm speaking now.
I
This is
will-
interrupting my time.
We can see the school board try and shut this down. They really don't like this, and they're going to use the common strategy. What you're saying, sir, is a personal attack, therefore you can't say it.
Well, we
Can I
can
pause
pause
this,
the
please?
time. Can you pause the time for a minute? I only want to say that to refrain from personal attacks. So
She
please.
is a government official.
This guy does a good job because he can clearly see the game that's being played.
She's a government
Yep.
employee. This is not a personal attack. I pay her salary with my
So,
tax dollars.
Again, please talk towards the policies that you
I'm
are
talking about-
against
and
and
if-
refrain from personal attacks.
If calling out a superintendent's actions at a school is a personal attack, we would never be able to call out that superintendent.
In what way have I personally attacked Dr. King? She is acting within her official role as assistant superintendent at Glendale Unified.
That's the best thing you can do in a situation like this, is get specific. In what way am I attacking her? How am I attacking her? They can't respond.
How is that a personal attack? I'm talking about tax dollars being used in a way that I disagree with.
Yeah, this guy's the man, dude. This guy's a hero, dude. This guy's awesome. I love it when people just stand up to frickin' stupid tyrants in government.
I'm going to continue.
Continue talking about the policy that you disagree with.
Dr. King quoted to say that biological girls were changing in front of male coaches. And then, so she knows it's a biological girl, and then proceeded to say it's not a girl 3 times. You know it's a girl. You know it's a girl. Or
Okay,
you know
so
it's a
she's
boy.
an
You know it's a
employee
boy.
of ours.
How is he not calling out policy? This is the manifestation of policy.
And if you wouldn't mind telling us what policy you dislike.
There is why am I being interrupted for speaking about an official member, a superintendent at Glendale Unified, speaking in an official manner? You cannot interrupt me for that. You have no ability to do that. And furthermore, the rules stated you won't debate. You're debating me right now.
School board meetings are an interesting place. They run similar to a courtroom and you have an allotted time. It's almost like a congressional hearing. It is meant to allow the public the ability to speak.
I'm going to continue. In discussing permanent records, she states that she keeps permanent records for a handful of trans students literally next to her in her room. She does not indicate that
That's weird.
person's gender
That's weird.
identity for fear that the parent might find out. Why
Really?
is she concealing this from parents?
And we can
That's
see on the sign in the
fricked.
background, this is in fact a myth.
Dude, that is extremely fricked up, bro. That is, it's so weird. Insane, bro. Insane. Oh, that's kind of cool. Give me 1 second, you guys. Sorry, I'm doing some things in the background here. Trying to get something figured out. I heard you'll want me to be gay, but I can't ignore my sleazy visions of me in Coos Bay. And I heard that there's a messed up place where all my brony bros want a cream pie in my face. I'm having wicked dreams of gleaming in Tennessee. No Santa Monica, you'll have been so good to me. Alone to make my mama proud. It's gonna cause a scene. She sees a brony boy. I know she's gonna scream, God, what have you done? You're a pink brony bro, and you dance at the gay club. Oh my God, I'm just having fun on the stage in my hooves. I'm wearing a man thong down at the Pink Brony Club. I'm gonna keep on fapping at the Pink Brony Club. I'm gonna keep on crapping down in West Hollywood. I'm gonna keep on fapping at the Pink Brony Club. Pink Brony Club. I'm up, and my balls are on the floor. Everybody's looking at me, calling me a whore. And I heard that there's a messed up place where all my brony bros want a cream pie in my face. Oh. I'm having wicked dreams of creaming in Tennessee. Oh, Santa Monica, you've been so shitty to me. Oh, God, what have you done? You're a pink brony bro. I want to see what that looks like, man. Listen to the money girl, you've been so good to me. You don't make my mama proud. It's gonna cause a scene. She sees her brony boy. Okay, let's keep watching.
Middle school.
She says, we kind of go out on a limb, and we know that's controversial to some people. Which people? Which parents? Armenian parents? Christian parents? Are those the ones who are being excluded from knowledge on their own children and their own identity in Glendale's Unified School District?
This is the concern we've been hearing. This allows us to actually see how it plays out.
And you preach inclusive policies. We can talk about that policy. Yet she's excluding parents.
So
She's
again,
excluding parents. I'm going to continue.
And I might just ask for a pause and ask for information. Maybe I'm mistaken.
Wow.
Can you pause the time for a moment, Mr. Sahakian? Thanks.
Real quick, the sponsor of today's video is Marsmen. So with summer coming, maybe you're trying to think more about your physical fitness. Guys, as we get older in our 30s, we start to store more fat. It starts to get a little bit more difficult to keep that physique. And the main reason for this is changes in our testosterone. Testosterone levels tend to start dropping in our 30s. That's why I decided to start trying Mars Men, and it has made a big difference. I've gone through 3 of these. Mars Men is a natural supplement designed to support healthy testosterone levels, which can help your body burn fat more efficiently and build lean muscle. Just real natural
You guys, I got
ingredients
low T,
that
man.
support healthy T levels, weight management, and exercise performance. The quality is legit. It's made all in the US, and every batch is third-party tested. There's a 90-day money-back guarantee. So worst case, if you don't like it, you can get your money back. But over 91% of customers seem to really like it. I've noticed a higher energy level from it. You can go to their website to look closer at reviews. For a limited time, our listeners can get...
Do you guys think I got low T? Do I look like the kind of guy that's got low T, bro? I do. I look like the kind of guy that's got a little bit of low testosterone, admittedly.
50% off for life, plus free shipping and 3 free gift cards at mengotomars.com. That's mengotomars.com for 50% off and get 3 free gifts when you check out. And it's also available on Amazon. After you purchase, they will ask you where you heard about them. Please support this show and tell them I sent you.
So I wouldn't mind getting input in terms of, is this...
And they can't contend with anything he's saying, so they're going to fall back on their strategy of you're not allowed to call this out.
So my understanding, again, is that we are the arbiters of policy. That is our decision. And so our employees are operating based off of our direction and the direction up here at the dais. So it is appropriate to criticize the policy. It is appropriate to question that. It is not appropriate to personally attack and denigrate a specific employee. I do not believe.
How is that denigrating? How is there any denigrating? He's trying to express concerns. That's not denigration. It's called she is an official. Oh my God, this is crazy.
That is covered.
Basically, he's trying to basically say you guys are a bunch of PDFs, allegedly.
Under the public comment.
I'm not personally attacking.
You're a bunch of creepy PDFs is what you are, school board right there.
Yes, you are, sir.
No, ma'am.
Allegedly.
I'm not personally attacking her. I disagree with what she said in her role as assistant
So then you disagree
superintendent.
with the policy, so please continue with the disagreement of the policy.
I am disagreeing with her, and this is not, you are debating me right now. You said you would not debate me. Why are you debating me?
So you're using that particular thing inappropriately, the fact that we don't debate. So
I am not
please,
attacking her personally. This is under her official role as assistant superintendent at Glendale Unified. You are not allowing me to speak freely in a government entity about a government employee. I pay her taxes. I have every right to speak about her in particular within her role. I'm not talking about where she lives, what she looks like, anything like that. Nothing personal. This is purely professional, and this is purely governmental. Can I continue?
Try to keep it professional.
I've already told you what I'm doing, and I'm making that very clear, and I'm not going to change.
Dude, this guy's the man, dude. And it's these bureaucrats, though, by the way, this guy rocks. Those bureaucrats he has to talk to are terrible. Government bureaucrats, man, they just make the world a worse place. They just do. They frickin' do, bro. Insane, man. It sucks that this guy's got to deal with these people. Make sure you guys, if you guys can, double tap your screen to like the stream. One more time, double tap your screen to like the stream. It really does help us out quite a bit. The more people we have liking the stream, the better off we are. So double tap your screen, baby.
Keep it professional.
What does that even mean? Try and keep it professional. This is how you can weaponize these concepts.
I have only kept this professional. You were debating me, and you were violating your own rules.
So,
You are
Mr.
violating your own
Sahakian,
rules.
go ahead and open the time again.
Thank you so much. Dr. Kelly King has worked with Gender Spectrum an organization which you guys have actually paid money to in several schools. If that's not a conflict of interest, I don't know what is. She's worked with Gender Spectrum to produce gender support plans. In these gender support plans, she ranks parents whether on how affirming they are on a scale of 0 to 10.
She's ranking the parents? Dude, this... First off, all the other stuff was already, in my opinion, grounds for her being fired. But, like, in my opinion... But let's keep going.
Determines that based on what criteria? I'd love to know that policy. She says, if the parent's not affirming, the parent may not be involved in this document. That's the gender support plan. This may be a private conversation. So let's talk personal now, because she is. This may be a private conversation between that trusted adult at the school. Is that adult trusted by the parent? Who is the trusted adult? Define trust, please.
Watch this back. Ask yourself, has the school board contended with a single point he has made? All I'm hearing is them claim, hey, you can't say that. That's a personal attack.
Yeah. These people, first off, we live in clown world, and when you have to deal with school boards like this or government boards like this, I should say. But yeah. Yeah, she might need Raxter says she might need affirming herself. Abso-fucking-lutely, dude. Abso-freaking-lutely, bro. Holy crap.
This may be a private conversation between that trusted adult at the school and the student about how we keep you safe at home, emotionally and physically.
Annie, love you. Everybody give a shout out to Annie. Annie saying, night, Garza. Loved the show as always. Good night, chat. Everybody give a round of applause to Annie for just being awesome. We love Annie, dude. Annie's been just an incredible part of this show. And whenever Annie's on, we got to give mucho love and respect. So we appreciate you, Annie. You have a good night, all right? You rock.
Physically. Who's personal? Who's professional? Personally, I'm being professional. What she has done and the policies none of you have spoken out against is a complete deviation from that sacred boundary between government and personal lives and privacy, especially of minors.
His logic is sound. He has the foundation, they do not. He's winning this.
And we're talking about sexuality, sexual identity, and you're not going to divulge that to parents intentionally? And again, she makes over $250,000 a year.
I can see no justification for the salaries that the superintendents and directors make. Meanwhile, the teachers make nothing.
Wow, 43%, only 43% of Glendale Unified High Schoolers are proficient in math upon graduation. Only 65% are proficient in reading, and you pay that much money to institute those policies while you're literally failing to produce the adequate students for the 21st century.
Damn, dude. What a stud, dude. What a stud, dude. I love it. I love that shit, dude. I'm all about it. All right, guys. Well, I do want to thank you all for an incredible show. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. I hope you guys had fun reacting or watching me react to things and all that. I always really do enjoy it quite a bit. Thinking real quick if there's anything else I want to say before I end the stream for the night. What did you guys think of this stream? Do you guys think it was pretty fun? Pretty lame? How do you guys feel about the little double tap on the top? Do you think that's kind of cute? Or do you think it's kind of creepy? I'm having wicked dreams of creaming in Tennessee. Orwell says they could get sued for violating the students constitutionally to protect privacy. He needs to be talking to politicians. The superintendent literally can't do anything about it. It isn't her choice. It's the California Constitution. Divulge it, and the school has to disclose almost everything. That's crazy, dude. That's some crazy stuff right there, man. Holy crap. Holy crap. Hey, Raxter, thank you for joining in. I'm pretty sure you're already subscribed, but to anybody who hasn't subscribed, make sure that you tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner so you don't miss any future episodes. The more subscribers we get, the better. It does help the channel grow, but for right now, I will probably see you in the morning, and that'll be it. On Friday, I do have some stuff going on after I'm done. So, but yeah, I'll talk to you later, man. Talk to y'all later.